Good morning, New York City. Good morning, New York City. That's my remix. My I'm Coming remix. Welcome to another special episode of Good Morning, New York City, as the bus passes by. And this time we're talking about the fifth Cryptidverse, which is the great and wondrous truth or tale, the controversial truth or tale, and things and stuff. So the conceit for this one is that a group of young upstart filmmakers on public access television are making a TV show where they find if a mysterious haunted tale is either truth or tale. And we had a large cast for this one. And then we had a smaller cast for this one, but we have some folks here who are from the truth or tale universe. And you're free to speak whenever you want to, but I will start us off with the God, I am so tired. I got very, very, very high last night. So we'll start off with how the thing came about. I actually was inspired by watching this one random movie on Amazon Prime, and it was a bunch of these kids who went. They're not kids. They were 20 somethings who went to this farm to discover this weird ghost thing, and it was so silly, and I thought that would be fun for a Cryptidverse. So I was like, let's do it. So we ended up having a lot of new people. We had 10, I think it was 10 people, 10 or 11. It was really, really, really crazy. And it was it was very, very goofy. So wait, let me see if I have the. Yeah, there it is. So it says, tonight on a very special episode of Truth or Tale, we'll go behind the scenes of the Mothman, a known entity that resides in the forests of West Virginia. Join us as we explore the places no one else dares to go and uncover the mystery of this often forgotten creature. Your favorite crew is back to solve another mystery tonight on Truth or Tale. We have some of the cast here. I'm going to invite you all to speak, to introduce your characters if you wish. You do not have to. Let me see, we got you. We have you. Welcome to the show, my sexy compadres.
You're missing someone.
Oh, wait a second. Oh, hang on.
Oh, wow.
Hang on. I can't hear myself speak because of this.
Oh boy.
Hi. How's it
Oh, boy.
going?
Let's do this.
Hi. You awesome naughty people. So
Oh my god, fire.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh my god, fire is right. So how did you all come up with your characters for Truth or Tale when you got the prompt? Whoever wants to start. You start, Swift.
Okay. All right. So.
You know you want to.
So Oh my god, fire. Anyway, so Dorothy Jones. Well, she was named. Well, I named Dorothy Jones after the real name of a famous actress here in my country. So yeah, that's her name is based on her. And then, in terms of her appearance, I was actually inspired by a mascot from Jollibee. And her background as a former cheerleader, I also got that from that mascot from Jollibee as well. She has pigtails, she has blonde hair, and all that stuff like that. And yeah, and funny enough, in the canon verse, she's meant to be like in my OC canon. She's actually meant to be like a friend to another OC of mine, Fernando Rosal. But then of course I shifted just a bit. I shifted it up plenty, for a good reason, and yeah, it's that's how I came up with Dorothy Jones. It was it just had her start out as part of a friend group of OCs that I created, and then after that, it just diverged from there.
Interesting. All right. Kiara, you wanna take the next one? How'd you come up with Marin?
Being honored to. Well, actually, Marin was part of a group of 3 brothers that I had created for a roleplay server that I was previously in. Like, I needed to create a group of 3 antagonist boys. So, Marin had 2 other friends, Nick and Desmond. So Marin's character actually wasn't supposed to be how it ended out in Truth or Tale, but I figured maybe doing a couple of tweaks here and there might help him in getting along better with the rest of the cast. So, yeah, Marin is supposed to be the ringleader of this little group of 3.
Love it.
So originally, Marin was supposed to be a bully, like the kind of person who you would be scared. Yeah, like the kind of person you would be scared to ever offend.
What? That is so not who showed up.
But at the same time, he was the kind of guy who looked so handsome that all the girls would want him. So, like, you see the kind of person that I mean. So, but I thought that, I thought that would not look good since he's gonna be on TV, and that too back in the 1900s. So I thought,
1990s?
Yeah, 1990s. I'm so sorry.
1900s when they had video cameras. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay. Thank you for mocking me, Fire. So yeah. So I thought maybe make him a bit more likable so that he's actually remembered in the TV show, and that's kind of what happened. So yeah, that's fair.
Nice. Very, very nice. Soph, do you want to go next? Introduce your character.
No, I'll go since I must be leaving soon.
Oh wait. Oh yes. Go Shadow. Forgot Shadow's there. Very sadly, leaving us soon. But continue.
Yes, it will. Let me just move my seating place to somewhere else. Okay, there you go. So my character was what was her last name again?
Don't you remember the surviving character?
Madison Parker. Basically, she was like, since the fire said something, promised me the armor of the plot. I'm pretty sure it was a joke, but I still went with it. I still went with it because I don't know, bored. I don't know how I crafted her. Basically, I just crafted the pit crew like a few weeks before.
Mm-hmm.
Like when Fire was like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna have the new one is gonna be the Moss Man," blah blah blah, this and that. I just like, all right, let me make a new character. I just did that, and then I waited. The story, I just pulled it out of nowhere.
Well, it worked out.
Yeah.
Very nice, very nice. So, do you want to take the next one? Maybe. So, is your mic working? Annie, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? All right, Soph's gonna work on her mic. In the meantime, Shy, do you wanna introduce your character?
Just give me a second to remember the name.
I know this feels like so long ago.
What was the name? Shit.
Wow, Shy. Wow. It was Autumn Lake.
Autumn.
Yes.
Good lord.
You guys remember? Oh shit.
Good lord.
Yeah, Autumn. A character that I made back in Feb, actually.
Wow.
Yeah, this was when you started introducing the CVs, and you were all done, and you were gonna reveal the Fergusons. So I was on a character making spree, and Autumn was one of them.
Well.
And originally, she was supposed to be a photographer,
Well,
but
close.
yeah, but
Just
now
motion
she's a
photography.
personal assistant. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they both start with a P. So yeah, that's it. There's nothing else to talk about.
Oh my gosh. Alright, so are you ready to introduce Ruben? Maybe? Who knows? I don't know, so my mic is working. Technical difficulties over here. Good morning, New York City. So while Soph is doing that, I will introduce the other ones. We also had Aragorn was playing Dirk Strider. We had Zozo playing Bobby Swan. Oh, Dirk Strider was the driver. He was going to drive the cast and crew to West Virginia. And there's maybe.
There we go. Okay,
There you are.
I figured out what was wrong. It was just I accidentally turned off. It was these headphones. Okay,
Good job.
Okay. Yeah. You can continue the rest of the cast, and then I'll introduce my character.
So we had
Because after all, I'm the celebrity guest star.
of course, that's right. We had
Of course.
Zozo playing Bobby Swan. We had Caddy playing Meredith Edwards. We had Kitten playing Kitten. Where you at? We had Nick playing Julius Walker, and we had Velvet playing Laura Lilac. And who were you playing?
Okay, so Ruben is basically just one of my OCs under a different name. In my little OC first where he's actually a singer, but in this one he's an actor, and he acted in like a bunch of like really, really shitty kids films as a kid, and he still very much suffers from that childhood actor syndrome. Like, he still is very much infatuated with the fame, and ever since he kind of dropped out of he kind of like waned in popularity because, you know, puberty and stuff, he wasn't seen as desirable anymore.
Of course.
A lot of people, he started getting a lot more, I would say a little bit more conceited, a lot more like pompous and stuff like that, because I'm trying to think. Yeah, he gets like a lot more pompous because of like the whole childhood actor thing.
Mm-hmm.
I never got to explain like his whole like why he was so infatuated. He was like so fascinated in cryptids and stuff like that. I feel like he would have been like kind of. I think I did a little bit, but not too much. Like, so I feel like the reason why he was like infatuated with cryptids so much is because he found, for some reason, he just kind of resonated with them. Like, his mother would read them stories about cryptids to him like every night before he went to sleep, and he just found himself like, oh, hey, I like these cryptids because some of them, because they don't have to conform to society like I do sometimes, and how I don't feel I feel very out of touch with society.
Aww.
These cryptids don't. Yeah.
Now I feel bad.
That's
for
why
him.
he resonates.
Wow. I did not feel bad for him throughout the thing, but now I feel bad for him. Interesting.
Feel bad for him either. I thought he was awful.
Kind of a dick. So
Yeah, he's kind of a dickhead.
So when we started, a blank screen, and then a voice comes through, and it's an officer, Marina Dunlap, of the PPPD, which made me laugh. That's the Point Pleasant Police Department, not penis department.
Oh my god.
Although, and so, basically, she is reviewing the footage of the cast and crew of Truth or Tale, and she says that they have one in custody who isn't talking. And I want you all to remember that I said that before anything happened. Just saying. Anyway, so
Like, didn't it say It said something different. It said something different at the beginning.
Yeah.
It did not. So
Yes, it did. Let me find it. Let me find it to prove that I'm correct.
I thought you had to go, Shadow. I thought you had to go.
I said seed. Okay, where did it say? So here we are. So no footage. Okay, I'm back. Much. Where does it say?
Mm-hmm.
I give up.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So they said they have one in custody, and they set up the truth or tale, and then they go into the intro sequence, which is something very radical in '90s low budget lettering comes up on screen, and it says
So radical.
so radical, dude. It says we are the seekers, we are the believers. We look for the answers where none can be found. We go in the places no one else will go. And that should say go. We find the truth, and if we don't discover the tale. Wait, and if we don't, we discover the tale. This is truth or tale. Radical 90s music. And so everyone introduces themselves in the show. And then we cut to a production meeting where everyone is sort of, debriefing, figure out what they're going to do. They're all in Seattle right now, and they're trying to figure out just how to get to where they're going to go. And they call up one Dirk Strider, everyone's favorite driver, who drives a less than savory lovely van. It was like a van that had like shag rug or something inside. It was really gross. It's a word I can't say, but it's very, very feeling kind of van. And so the gang gets in. And you know what? We're going to oh wait, let me figure out, because okay, so here's the real tea. So half the cast ended up leaving the Truth or Tale game, RP. So we had to find ways to write them out. So we're going to quickly go through each leave in chronological order so that I can remember it. But a lot happens before they actually get to West Virginia. So the first, so they call Dirk. They hire him. Oh, what did everyone think of Dirk? Let's start there. I'm gonna. Shai says, "I'm gonna sit out this question."
What did they think of Dirk?
Yes.
Dirk Strider?
Dirk Striker. I kept
Dirk
calling him.
So, what did I think of Dirk? Well, foul-mouthed, that's for sure. He has such a potty mouth. And he loves his van to the point where I wish, okay, just marry your van, for crying out loud. If you love it so much, marry it.
Oh my god, he loved his van. Oh, Shai, we have to get Shai's answer. We have to get Shai's answer at some point. So, Kiara, did you have a feeling about Dirk? Did you have any thoughts, any feelings about Dirk?
Honestly speaking, I didn't really pay attention at the point of time when Dirk was actually there.
Yeah, that makes
But
sense.
after reading the RP again and again a couple of times, I don't have anything to say. I have a lot of things to say about that man, but at the same time, I don't have anything to say. You see what I mean?
I do see what you mean. So, how did you feel?
Yeah.
I love it.
Considering Ruben was the person that called him up to go pick them all up to take them there, I think he was I think he was like relatively neutral towards him.
Yeah, I feel like he.
Of course, he didn't want to say anything because otherwise he would lose his precious front seat role.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah.
Dirk was giving very big, chaotic, neutral energy. Or maybe, I don't know, lawful evil? I don't know. What is his alignment? I don't know.
What if Ruben give off the whole roleplay? I'm curious.
Oh, lawful is lawful. I don't know. Is it lawful evil? No, lawful. I actually had an answer for this, and I don't remember what I said. I think I told you this.
Yeah, I think you did. It was like
I did. I thought it was like maybe I did say lawful evil, but I feel like that's a little much.
probably.
Ruben wasn't evil. Okay, so first day on the road trip, they have a nice cute discussion about Hall & Oates, which I personally enjoyed. Thank you very much for that. So of course. Maybe a little bit of Out of Touch. I love it. One of my favorite songs. And everyone's kind of chatting. Everyone's getting to know each other. Were there any like alliances you guys were thinking about pre people leaving? Like, what did you where did you get a sense of the cast? Because it's a big cast. Anyone could go. Or you can start, Swift.
Like I was planning basically for Dorothy to just be that one person. Well, according to her profile, she's like, hang on a minute, I'm gonna freaking go to the tags first. Sorry.
Okay.
Hang on a minuet. Hang on a minuet.
A minuet.
Hang on. Yes, I say minuet.
I do
So
too. Oh, by the way, I see that Soph actually rolled the first nat 20 of the entire thing.
on the side of things, Dorothy loves to have a party. Expect her to have a wine glass in her hand whenever she attends a gathering. She always wants to have a good time no matter what place she's in. So that last sentence in particular, she always wants to have a good time no matter what place she's in. So based on that personality trait, she's like, okay, maybe she wants to have a good time with anyone and everyone no matter what. So, yeah.
Yeah, Dorothy was very sweet. Very, very sweet, Dorothy. Did anyone else have any, like... Were you have any plans for, like, any of the cast? Like, do you have any, like, alliances? Any sort of budding romances? There are no romances in this one, so... That was interesting.
Oh, not really.
No?
It wasn't really the romance.
Okay.
There was one scene I would really, really wanted to do, but I never got to fit it in.
What was it?
So I really wanted to have a scene where Ruben was like chilling up in a tree, and someone would be like, "Oh, get down the tree, Ruben," and then he fell down, and then he'd make a joke, something along the lines of, "Oh my God, this hurts." Hurts, referring to him falling down the tree. Hurts even more than than that time I got pegged by that, and then he got hit by a branch and he just yelped in pain.
So Ruben wanted to be a part of an anime. Got it. Okay.
And it's kind of sadistic.
Pretty sadistic, yeah. So fun feelings about our character.
Yeah, that is true.
We love it. Did something similar happen, or am I wrong? A climbing up the tree moment? I don't think so. I don't remember. So people keep driving in. The drive, so I wanted to give you guys enough time to like get to know each other.
Yep.
So I had you all drive for a while because from Seattle to West Virginia is a 40-hour drive, which is insane.
Wow.
So I wanted to give you all just enough time to get to know each other. I'll see a shadow. And excuse me. And it was interesting. I mean, you guys made somewhat the most of it.
Yeah.
I had you guys stop to do some background shots. What I was also aiming to do was trying to have a lot of like the people who were supposed to be on camera, like Marin and Dorothy, and Laura, to sort of have the moment to be like, here we are in Westford, or stuff like that. Which I wish we had more of that, but yeah. How did you feel about being sort of the lead on the show, Swift?
Oh boy.
Did you like it?
Having
Did you really like it?
Well, it was a challenge for sure because to be honest, like IRL, I'm not used to being a host. So it's just like, okay, just base it on how you see news reporters. What do they do? How do they speak? How do they present? So I'm just like, okay. And I was also deriving like Dorothy's like mannerisms as a host in what's this? I was deriving her mannerisms as a host from some talk shows.
Mm-hmm.
Just using that, just applying what I've learned or what I've watched in how she presents. And as you saw, she usually presents with a smile. Usually being the key word.
Very cute. All right, so now we have to get into one of the most interesting things that's ever happened in the CV. We had half the cast dip out, so we had to write out their characters. I have here that Bobby Swan had a change of heart before getting into the van, so Jozo's character Bobby actually didn't even come on the trip with us. Meredith Edwards had a family emergency and got a ride back to Seattle in the middle of the trip. Kitten, she felt the spirits calling her elsewhere, which that was my favorite leave. And then we had Julius Walker, who was left at the hotel after an altercation with the interviewee's husband. Yeah, we had a few leaves. How did you all feel about the leaves? Were you nervous?
It was rapid. It's not an omen for what's to come.
Yeah, got a little dicey there for a second. I was not worried. Everyone was like, "Fire! Do you think this is going to mean the end of Truth or Tale?" And I was like, "No, it's not going to mean the end of Truth or Tale. It's fine. I know what I'm doing." So the next section, we got into a little bit of a scuffle with the bikers. It is completely unclear how this began. The cameras cut on, and all of a sudden we hear a bunch of angry bikers, terrorizing the group. What did you all think of this?
Angry bike.
Less angry and more like, I don't know, antagonizing. But...
Yeah, and I'm just like, what are bikers? First thought, what are bikers doing in a horror movie? Second thought, okay, should we just hide in the van a bit more?
Did anyone think they were going to die during this part?
Honestly, I did.
I mean, you guys think you're going to die at all times during the CV, which is fair. Honestly, which is fair.
The only thoughts I had while I was going through that scene was that I was living for the dialogues in which Dirk was swearing his head off. I'm so sorry. I just found that really, really funny.
Dirk,
I couldn't stop.
I could not even believe it. I could not even believe it.
But then again, it is Caddy, so...
Oh, for sure. Oh, no, that was Aura.
Oh, no, that was Aura.
Yeah. Caddy was playing someone else. Yeah, that was Aura. So yeah, they had 4 bikers. You guys did really well on them. I think you ended up knocking out 3 of them. And then ended up... Did you guys crash? Is that what happened?
Yeah, I think we crashed into the bikers. And for the only excuse I have for Baron was that he was asleep this entire time. He can be a heavy sleeper when he wants to be.
Oh, this is the moment that I was like, I can't believe you all didn't react to this. But yeah, so you guys crash, and then the biker also crashes near you all, and Dirk kills him.
Oh.
Yeah. Do you guys remember that part?
I do.
Dirk shot him.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
Can I be honest?
Please.
Wait. Let me check if I was here. Never mind, he's not. Okay, I'm safe.
Yeah.
I'd rather it was Dirk who died, because honestly, you gave me that reason that Dirk died, but no. I was disappointed.
Dirk, I still cannot believe that Dirk killed someone and never
Yeah.
did anything about it. He very clearly killed someone.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I had
wanted
Dorothy.
Shot him point blank. Yeah. I
I
mean,
had Dorothy like look out the window, and then she was like, "Oh shoot."
yeah,
I see it.
it was interesting. So Dirk commits manslaughter. Actually,
But
not
no one says
manslaughter.
anything about it.
I mean, he murdered someone.
Yeah, Dirk commits.
Yeah.
I guess it's not first degree. I mean, it was self. I mean,
I
it's not
guess it's
self-defense.
self-defense,
It's
kinda.
not
Maybe.
self-defense though, because the guy was defenseless.
But he was shooting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it is. Well, yeah, I guess it is too. I guess, yeah, maybe it is self-defense. I don't know.
Yeah.
So anyway, however you feel about that, Dirk killed someone. And then we move on after the bike thing. Everyone is safe.
Bike gang.
Bike gang scene.
Yes, the bike.
The bike gang. And this is the first time. This is actually one of my favorite scenes, where Dirk and the crew stop at a motel somewhere nearby West Virginia. This is our first time we get
West
a Dorothy
Virginia.
interview. I knew it was going to happen at some point.
Yep.
And you will get an interview. How did you like this scene? This is mostly a Dorothy scene.
So basically it was so much has been revealed about her backstory now. Like at the start of the thread though, that was actually what I had planned. I'm sorry, what's the background noise happening? I'm sorry. It's
Yeah.
hang on a minute. Okay.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. Actually.
Anyway, yeah, that was like the part where interview scene. Which one is it?
So this is on June 2nd. So as Dirk and the crew stop at a motel, and they interview Mrs. Beasley about the Mothman. So the camera turns on in front of and it's a woman in her 60s looking eager to please him to be on camera. Clearly her first time.
Yep.
And she's so cute. She says, "Can y'all hear my stomach over there?" She says it's rumbling. And how did you feel about this scene?
Well, honestly, as the first interviewee of the show, like doing like the first, like playing with the interacting with the first interviewee of the show, I was like, okay. Inside, I was like, okay, campus journalism experience. What do I do first? What kind of questions do I ask? Yes, campus journalism experience.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to tackle that. So I just based Dorothy's questions on how I would ask, because I write in my university. I'm a campus journalist, so yeah, I just asked the simple questions and all that stuff. So I think I was pleased with that first interview with Mrs. Beasley.
So it got very cute until her husband comes out and basically says, "What the fuck are you doing?" What did you think about her husband coming out with sort of this angry energy? Hey, Taka. This energy of don't talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
How did you feel about it? Did it raise any red flags?
Well, I was of course, it did sort of raise red flags because it's like, okay, you're telling them about the Mothman, how, kind of red flag in the sense that, maybe he was too traumatized to even speak about it, to the point of he was being mad, but then I didn't really suspect anything else besides, he's probably hiding something he's probably hiding something that we don't know of. But besides that, I'm just like, yeah, everyone's unsure.
Oh yeah, it got weird. So they leave, they get back on the road. Laura does a video diary. which I wanted to do more of, but we didn't really have time to do it. And then this is the pivotal scene that turns everything. They turn on the cameras. It is late at night, and they are helping a distraught woman in the middle of the road who's lying bloody. She essentially is incoherent. She's terrified. She keeps screaming help. She's sobbing. What did you all think of this? What did you think was going to happen? What did you think of the girl? Anyone can go. Kiara? So, anyone?
Oh, well, first thing I thought about the scene is that, okay, so we're somewhat close to finding the Mothman. Does this mean this is gonna end mid-month, or is this just, or is that just how it's supposed to happen? Like, are we all gonna die this? Like, we barely started, and we're already gonna die. So I'm watching. I don't have anything to say because I don't know how it's supposed to help since it's all panic. So this is all going on, and like I'm just thinking. Okay, so like I'm waiting for the Mothman to show up and do something, or something out of the ordinary just happened. But nothing's happening, and I'm confused, but at the same time I'm relieved. Like, nothing's happening, but at the same time that's a problem. Like, nothing is happening, and then there's Dirk, who just leaves.
Yeah,
because he's annoyed.
So this is the big thing. So everyone is trying to help this poor girl. Everyone's trying to help this poor girl, and she's incoherent, of course, and so Dirk basically says, like, whatever you do, don't put her in my van. She's bleeding, don't put her in my van. And so this is interesting because he calls the authorities, or he calls the ambulance, and they, yeah, that's right, and then they basically cut out, so like the call drops, which is interesting and notable later. So essentially everyone like puts her in the van, and Dirk goes, nope, not doing this, not at all, and kicks everyone out. Shy's about to
like the ironic thing is that he cares more about his van than he does about someone else's life.
Yep.
And then this is the point of the role play. Like, this is the point of the story where I'm like, okay, you know what? It's a good thing that we lost him because this man is heartless.
It is bad. But...
Like, if he seriously cares more about the fact that his van is gonna get bloody, more than the fact that someone is dying here due to God knows what, then we don't need him. This is literally a horror story. We do not need somebody who's gonna bail just because their van got dirty. We do not need someone who's gonna make a fuss because their van got dirty.
That's Cryptidverse ship, Dirk Strider / van.
I love that monologue.
So,
I love that Kiara just went off. I love it.
Well, to be fair, Ruben tried running after Dirk because he wanted to go with him because he didn't want to be around these people no more.
That is true.
Yes, that is one thing. So,
God damn it,
I'm
Ruben.
just like, okay, fine, you know what?
God damn it,
We need
Ruben.
people who we care about human lives over here.
Oh my god. I'm gonna let everyone just go off.
Please.
Just everyone have their Dirk.
Yeah.
I'll just mute myself. Everyone can have their Dirk moment. Enjoy. Everyone, share your feelings about
Dirk moment. Yeah, Dirk moment. Here we go. So, okay, as much as you're foul-mouthed, you're badass, you shot down a freaking biker, good for you. But then if you're not helping us out, what's the point? What's the point of even freaking driving, man? If you're not gonna even bother, like, oh, you're just gonna... It's like, oh yeah, screw doing what's right. I need my van. Yeah. At this point, I'm just like, okay, Dirk, Dirk X Van. That's the best ship in the entire Cryptidverse, bar none.
You actually sit on my pillow out of here. Do not sleep.
It's nothing, Cass. Anyway,
Okay.
so much Dirk moment.
Yeah, I didn't see my pillow.
Do we get it all out?
I
Is everyone
saw-
done? Nope. Okay, continue. Go ahead.
No.
Nope.
Before I do
Guys-
go on a rant about Dirk, I just found something very stupidly
I saw
funny about it.
Cass. I mean,
If you look at Dirk's profile, backstory, the very first line says Dirk was born at a young age. Now that makes me laugh because born at a young age, can people be born at an old age?
Oh my god.
Benjamin Button.
That's an exception. Anyhow,
No.
Dirk's a complete jackass and he wants to keep his van clean. Okay, I can respect that. A guy wants to keep his car clean, wants to keep his stuff clean. Who wouldn't? That's something a normal person would do. But not helping a person. I mean, I think
Like-
Dirk had some shitty
like-
contract about keeping his car clean or something, but no. Now that gets the deal for me. At first, I was like, okay, badass character, that's fine. He wants to be an edgy boy, I'll let him be an edgy boy. But no. After that, I lost all my respect for him and I only wanted him to die.
And to
Oh,
top it all
God.
off, he has the mode of transport needed to possibly save Marjorie's life. So there's the mode of transport. Like you could have just
The
driven
last
them down. Yeah,
Yeah.
like the nearest hospital. You could have done that, Dirk. You could have done that, freaking Dirk. Dirk
Speaking
No,
of
more
like,
like
Dick,
no, like if he no, like he could have also been like, okay, he doesn't want to get his van dirty. That's fine. He could have also gotten out of the van and like what helped this poor lady out on his own. Like he could have carried her or something to the nearest hospital. But no, he ditches them out on the road and the iced tea. Man, that was some good iced tea.
Iced tea.
Iced tea.
Iced tea.
iced tea. The poor iced tea. Oh my god.
That was the moment I lost it and I wanted to go on a swearing moment. Oh, can we get Taka in here since he's like the special guest for every single CV? I want to hear
Yeah.
him swear.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
one of the moments I want to hear this innocent voice.
Yeah, Taka should get
Alright.
him.
Yeah, go.
Okay, go on.
Your turn to
Hey,
swing.
Taka!
Okay, you know.
We're all getting
Okay,
getting
Taka.
off on dark right
This
now.
is the moment where I'm legally required to stop before I say anything else because I'm going to get arrested.
Oh my
Taka,
god.
come on.
Okay, wait. So you are talking about Dirk, right?
Yeah, Dirk
who-
Strider.
Yes, we're talking about Dick Strider.
Striker, like striking someone. I don't even know his name.
Oh my
Good
Dirk Strider, more like
Wow.
lord.
Dirk Strider, more like Jerk
Strider.
Strider.
Oh boy.
Duck
wow.
Stroker.
Oh my god, Sai. Okay, that's an interesting case because well, I mean he was a bit of an ass, but he was also a bit cool I suppose with the revolver and stuff. I remember when he was doing the biker thing and stuff, but when we were talking about that specific scene where he left everyone, I was like, why do you worry more about the fucking man that literally a group of children that you may be accused of, like, you know, getting them missed or killed, maybe? I don't know. I feel like he would have thought about that better because the moment he left them, it would be like, if they don't know about basic like medical things, why would they know about hunting skills? I feel like he would have thought about that better. I think he would probably like not fucking leave them or something. I don't know. I feel like that was humor, you know, with the fucking bad.
Well said.
Yep.
About Dirk a shadow.
Do we get it all out?
Dirk. Hang on.
Oh, one last thing. This is
Oh, I
before
don't
I
think
get
anybody's
arrested.
even close.
It also says that Dirk likes to drive. You know what would be fun? Lobbing a Molotov onto him. Yeah. That would
Oh
be
my god, Shine.
Lobbing a
Oh my
Molotov
God.
at Dirk while he's driving as he
Sorry.
drives off a cliff into the ocean. That would be fun to watch.
Oh my.
I know.
Oh
I
my
know who
god.
I know who I'm voting for best RP character.
Uh,
You better not.
Yeah.
I love her so much.
boy.
She's terrible.
Fire.
Okay, so one
Fire.
thing
I
that
will
we have
hire a
taken from
hitman.
this,
And it's not the worst part. He
so
won't
one
kill
thing we
you,
have
Fire.
taken
No,
from
he
this
will.
is to never.
He will make sure you're not
like-
horny.
No.
Yeah.
What were you saying, Kira?
Wow, called out. He called him out.
The most trusted hitman.
Oh God. Is there
Yeah.
anything else you want to say about this scene about Dirk leaving you all behind?
Yes.
Nope, I think we all went off. I think we all went off.
Everyone can just yell out, "F you, Dirk."
All right. Ready? Here we go.
No, but
Oh, wait, I still have
one thing that I've
one
learned
thing.
from this is that to never get on Shy's bad side. Like never get on his bad
Like,
side.
if Castellan were freaking in Truth or Tale, he would have freaking shot Dirk. Not gonna lie. He would have asked.
Yeah.
So the final scene.
And also, who the hell did he expect them to know about medical sting if everyone was a god kill? Literally, everyone was everyone was a god kill.
Question for all. Wow.
Like, what was he expecting? That they knew every single medical thing or something? I feel like, why? Why would you think that? That's literally kids compared to you. And they're also working for the public cable. I don't know. I don't think in your interview for a public cable you really need fucking medical skills, you know? Unless like it's a show about that. Still, it was about ghost hunting and stuff, you know, like about medical prophecy and, you know, the body of the human. It's just, how do you think they will know? Everyone was a god kill, except maybe one.
You know what I think should have happened?
What should have happened?
Go
You got-
on.
The character should have called the cops on Dirk. Not gonna lie.
That is true.
Yeah, I think we just mentioned that we
Yeah.
all cut off.
Yeah. maybe.
Autumn tried to do that.
I'm
Autumn tried to
gonna
do
mute myself.
that, but
Yeah, the cops. We'll get into why the cops may or may not have been helpful. Well, in general, but in this particular instance. So the final,
No.
Oh.
the final thing we get from Dirk is headlights light up the camera's field of view, and there's a sound of Dirk's fan along with a couple honks. Enjoy your walking, and followed by the sound of a backpack full of cans being dropped on the roadway. You forgot your iced tea. And he accelerates into the
yeah.
Yes. At some point we
Did you
stop. They stop to
No.
Break out
No.
iced tea?
No.
they stop
No.
to get some food.
No.
Sure.
I guess we're not done
No.
on Dirk. We're not done. Okay. Continue.
My
Just
God.
mute myself.
We don't talk about the iced tea.
That whole
The
entire
iced
world
tea is a preferred name.
ever break the iced tea. Dirk, you were really
yeah.
much
Seriously, like it was good iced tea.
Iced tea.
Man, what did the iced tea do to you?
Yeah, they would have been.
Exactly, it did nothing.
And then Shy.
It did nothing.
And then it's stupid, but I'm already upset.
And then
Yeah.
Autumn just curses him out. Like
Good. Absolutely right.
Because I'm around kids, but you
Like,
get what
I wanted.
As she should.
I would have. I wanted.
As she should.
Autumn should have flipped the bird. She would have like put up her middle finger.
Yes, do
She did.
that.
Oh, people did it
Yes.
in the chat.
Yes.
Well, if you would like to go to, the post is on June 4th. If you would like to put a middle finger emoji on the final leaving, there are 3 middle finger emojis. I wish I could link. I can link it, can't I? Copy message there.
Already
Yeah.
done.
Yeah, here we go.
Yeah,
Ready?
technically you
Yeah.
can.
If you would like to leave a message, there it is.
I would like to leave
Oh,
the
I'm
message.
ready. I'm
Okay.
ready for this.
Some of you
Give
have already done it.
me.
Oh no, I'm already done. I'm already done.
Yeah, leave
where's-
Where do I
those emojis.
Where's-
go?
Yeah.
I don't know where to do it.
I just posted it
second.
in Bonfire.
Then just do it under
What?
Autumn puts the bag
What
down
am
and
I
opens
doing?
it looking inside.
Where?
Yes, or you can.
Where
Here's
must I go?
also here's the message if you just
Oh.
want to search for it.
I found it.
Okay.
I did it.
Oh yes, more middle.
I left
fingers.
2 instead.
Yeah.
Okay, so
We need a lot of middle fingers for this.
So I feel like we need to put
I feel happy now.
put this one to bed. I don't know, do like a 1, 2, 3, fuck you. I don't know. 1, 2, 3, fuck you, Dirk.
F you.
And you.
So Dirk, so Dirk takes off into the night. Everyone's upset. And oh wait, Kiara, can you just mute for a second?
Oh yeah, sure. Sorry.
You're good. You're good. So Dirk takes off into the night, and you know they're helping this poor girl to wherever her home may be. Did anyone get any sort of bad vibes from this girl, or?
Yes.
I don't know.
So many bad
Yes.
vibes.
There's a girl
Yes.
it was
Yeah,
just a random
seriously.
girl there. She was apparently like
Yeah.
very.
Like,
Yeah. No,
like,
I got really bad.
okay, we know how the Modman is suddenly, so he was so big for the cave, he like took some blind
Wait.
to get out
Shadow,
of it.
are you brushing your teeth on the podcast?
That isn't me.
No, it was Steve. It's Steve.
I'm
Steve.
literally
Steve.
muted.
Who is brushing their teeth on the podcast?
It's Swift.
Oh my
Termination over now.
Really blame.
This person really wants to be here on the podcast.
What is happening?
Yeah.
Wait, Swift?
It's obvious. Swift is brushing her teeth.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Sure. I mean, we stand good dental hygiene, as Dragoon just said.
We damn public. I mean, what?
What?
I
Okay,
mean,
what there
oh
was-
god.
Wow.
Yeah.
What an iconic moment. So we get to the girl's house. We get to the girl's house, and a woman opens up, says, "Where have you been?" She's a little upset by the camera, as anyone would be.
Yep.
And what did you all think of the older woman? What her relationship to this girl was? Like, what did you all think about this? She was pretty nice.
The
Well-
first thing that came to my mind was abusive mom
Oh,
or abusive relative. Like that was the first thing that came to mind.
interesting. That's interesting. What did the rest of y'all think?
Honestly, I mean, I was a bit like, worried because she was acting like she was that worried about her. Like she acted worried, it's just like she acted less worried than I would imagine
Yeah,
someone
like-
seeing,
She's bloody. She's upset. I feel like this should be a little bit more alarming for you. Yeah.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
I mean, if you saw 5 other people with cameras looking at whatever relationship with that girl is, and that girl is bloody, and they're looking at her, it's like, how would you not be alarmed? She was like a semi-alarmed, but not that alarmed.
Not
She was-
totally. Yeah. I don't know.
She was, she's even more like upset about the cameras than anything else, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, she
Like,
was
are
like
you-
not. Yeah.
Are you filming this? It's like,
I mean,
what the hell? What
If
the
anyone
hell
pointed
are
a camera at me, I think I'd punch them in the face.
Yeah.
Why?
I would take my
I
clothes
don't
off,
like
but that's a
being
different
filmed.
story. I do like being filmed, but yeah, that's not what we're talking about here. So we get to daytime, and Dorothy hears something heavy walking on the roof, and
Yep.
turns around, turns on the camera while everyone is asleep.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think
And
was happening?
I was thinking, Mothman. Mothman is on the roof.
Same. Like that is literally the first thing that comes to mind.
But then,
Like,
of course,
honestly-
they don't know. They don't know They don't know whether it was Mothman or not. But then it could just be an intruder or a robber. So she's just like, okay, let me try and see if I can capture this thing on film. So Dorothy tries to point the camera at the source of the sound, see if she can catch it, but not there. And someone apparently followed Dorothy while she was trying to investigate. So
Yeah. So
Yours truly.
So everyone was like, "What's going on? What's happening?" Everyone got scared, but then we get a big scream from the lady yelling, "Marjorie! So I guess we found out that the girl's name is Marjorie.
Yep.
And we discovered that Marjorie has escaped from the house.
Oh,
Um,
snap.
and so, you know,
Banana.
Wait a minute.
The woman takes off.
Wait a minute.
Oh, okay.
Wait a
Something's
freaking
happening.
minute.
Something's happening.
Wait a freaking minute.
Yes.
So just you telling me about that though. Well, I know it's gonna tie up to something important much later on. But the fact that Marjorie was screaming, escaped, well, why did she try to escape it? Why was she screaming and escaping if this woman was seemingly supposed to be taking care of her? So
Oh, that is
Interesting.
interesting. That is
Well,
interesting.
now that I think about it, the older woman did say something about the woman did say something about how she often does go out. Like she often does this a lot. So I thought it might just have something to do with that. Like maybe she just saw something and she's trying to go back to it. So it could have also been that. But at the same time, I did just follow, you know, for the sake of anxiety.
I like the way y'all are thinking. So the woman starts freaking out, says, we gotta go find Marjorie. And then everyone sets off into the woods. Your favorite place.
into the woods.
Yeah, fire, definitely.
Into the woods.
Into the unknown.
Into the so
Into
This is-
fire's domain.
So this is the first time. So is this when Autumn breaks off from the group, or is that later?
Yes. I think. Wait, no.
It was autumn.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was Autumn.
So Autumn. But was there a reason? Was this when you and Madison got into a fight?
Yes.
Yeah. So let's talk about the
Like-
Madison Autumn drama. What's going on there?
What the hell is going on?
It all started
Oh,
when
yeah.
Shadow DM'd me and said he was gonna do dumb shit. So I said okay and let him do dumb shit. I
Wow.
think that was how it went.
You have.
Wow.
I could have not have said it better.
Wow.
Is that how
I
it
could
went?
not have said it any better.
I loved the
I'm gonna
tension
search
between Madison
DMs.
and Autumn. I loved it. I loved it so much. Because I was hoping that there was going to be some tension because everyone's really nice here, of course. So I was like, I'm worried that all of your characters are just going to be like super best friends, Pokemon friends. But I was like, yes.
Oh my god.
Yes.
I think I partially remember, like, Shadow's entire conversation was, hey, do you want these two to be friends, but they're like bitchy friends, so they fight each other, but they still love each other? It was very stupid, and I loved it. I'm still trying to
So
find
like
the DM's
frenemies.
opinions on Madison.
Frenemies.
Wait, let
they
me
got
find
together
it.
in the
Let me
end,
find
yes.
Shy. Okay. I go. Okay.
Yeah?
Mm,
And what are
Okay,
you doing?
couldn't find it.
Not yet.
Okay, I found it.
Oh, I'm still muted.
I can hear you. Oh, you found it? So what did it say?
Wrong one.
Never mind.
Oh wow.
While they're finding that,
What are we
thought-
looking for?
I thought you guys were finding the DMs about your plans for your characters.
I mean it was, but now I just found Zhong Li dancing.
All right, so so moving on. We will get into their they have some big scuffles later. So I think the first thing that happens. Yeah, it's not Autumn leaving. It's actually the first thing that happens is that I made everyone roll, and suddenly Madison and Dorothy are swept up in a net trap where they're hanging from a tree.
We stuck in a tree.
Now, I will admit, I thought something
Yes.
horrible was going to happen in the scene.
Someone's gonna die.
I actually thought someone was
Mothman
going to die.
kidnaps. Mothman swoops down.
So first
That's
of all,
what-
why
that's
did,
what I
you all,
honestly
why did you all think these giant nets were there?
I think
Traps.
Maybe.
Or the Mothman, or just normal
Yeah.
animals. Like normal people, like hunters
Yeah.
do.
It was a
Yeah.
giant
It was just.
net. A giant net that
It's for the Mothman. Either for the Mothman or some of the
It could have
Mothman's
been
Yeah,
for
it
a
could also
bear.
be a giant
For the
net.
Mothman.
It could also be. It could also be a.
Well, now that I look
It could
back
also
at the
be-
thread, though, the whole thread. Of course, we're gonna get to that soon. But
Yes.
but if one look closely, they really fit the human size. It's really human size.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think Shadow actually just typed it in chat and makes a little bit of sense.
I'm not
The
looking
catch
anywhere.
food for the Mothman's children.
Catch.
Isn't that just pleasant?
What?
I mean, that reminds me this roleplay and Name of the State has this theme of cannibalization,
Wait,
within
can
already
I ask
romance.
something?
So
If the Mothman has children, isn't it a Mothwoman or something?
No, not actual children.
oh my
Oh
god.
my god.
I mean, like religious followers or whatever. Like, yeah.
Oh, children. Oh, right. I
Oh,
forgot.
shoot, let me fix it.
You
Please don't give
forgot?
me nightmares anymore.
Fire! How
Don't blame
could
me
you
for forgetting.
forget?
Because you want my legitimate, detailed, thorough explanation for this? I will give you one.
Well, let's have it.
The word
You know,
starts
when
with an
the
F and
first time-
ends with a
the
T,
first-
but I forgot how it's spelled.
Oh god. Oh, Shy.
Oh,
Shy's
Yeah.
eating is very low brain today. Very, very low brain today.
I am low brain.
You know, the first thing that I thought of when I saw the net was that, okay, is that either hunters to catch the food, even though it was human size, it's either that, or people who also believe that the Mothman was
I
real, and they were the nets for the Mothman.
But,
What?
I mean,
but that's
since you only
assuming that there's no human-sized animals that you want to capture.
Yeah, interesting. Very interesting.
Panthers, cheetah.
So,
this-
Well, but I mean, that also supports the fact, the sightings that people were seeing about how the Mothman is actually a human who had sprouted wings.
What?
Interesting.
I mean,
Kiara is
yeah,
again,
just
with
because
that
it's
time
human-sized net, I don't think that doesn't translate to being Mothman is the human with wings. I don't think that fits. That's just an assumption with no proof.
I mean, no. If
Human
the net,
size,
if
that's
the
just a
net
net.
was, if the net was big enough to trap two normal-sized humans, and assuming that there was leg room, then I think it would make sense if it was for the Mothman, because
there was
considering
two
the
separate
fact
nets.
that
It was two separate
Then again,
nets.
you're not trying to make the net too
oh,
tight.
there were two
you know?
separate.
Yeah, two separate
Bigger
nets.
net means a better chance to catch something, so I'd assume big net.
So we're divided here. It could either be for the Mothman or it could be for people. So
For people.
I think it would be Mothman
Yeah,
or
I
just
think I wanna
animals in
choose the
general.
latter.
I doubt someone would, because as much as I saw, the only person in those forests so far that we'd seen were the Marjorie and that one person whose name I can't remember unless she didn't have a name. And I doubt the old lady could set a trap, so it might have been for Mothman or just animals. Because big
Mothman.
traps are not uncommon. I mean, if you look at any movie with net traps, you'll see that people have plenty of space to move around in those. So big traps, it's not like it's according to the size. You could have a big trap. A big trap might be more efficient.
All right. So,
Well, especially if you're
Yep.
gonna catch a cryptid, might as well.
so then
Catch a cryptid
Laura
in a
has,
giant freaking net.
Laura has her big scene. She goes
So
and
cliche.
she cuts down both Dorothy and Autumn, which
Madison.
is, Madison, which is kind of insane.
What?
I didn't think somehow Laura becomes Laura Croft and climbs up a
Laura
tree.
Croft.
Or
Tree Raider.
Laura
Tree
Lilac
Raider.
Croft comes through
Yep.
and cuts down both of them without anyone being severely hurt. Although, actually, doesn't Madison? Someone gets really hurt.
It was Laura. Laura gets really
Oh,
hurt.
Laura
like,
got really hurt. Oh,
Yeah,
that's
and then
right.
also,
Yes, this is how it
And then-
starts.
Autumn attempts to throw the knife for everyone to catch, for someone on the things to catch, and then Madison was like, "You really suck at throwing."
Oh gosh, yeah.
Yeah, and
Let me
after
find it, let
that,
me
these
find
two
it.
just don't
Yes.
get along.
Cute. Like,
This is how this works.
and then Madison, it's like Madison was just like puny arms with Autumn, and it's just like, oh god.
Yeah, let me find it. How do you spell truth again? That's how you spell it. That's how you spell it. That's how you spell it.
Useless. I'm gonna see how many results for useless I get from just shadow alone. Oh, just one. Never mind.
Oh, so that's where Velvet. That's where Laura did that. Oh yeah, so this is the reason why Autumn leaves, right?
Autumn retrieves her knife and looks up at Okay, let me find out. So Shy rolls a 1. I'm surprised the knife didn't stab into anyone. Autumn loses the knife like he's tossing a balloon. It goes nowhere and falls on the ground. Autumn, with your throwing, we would get stabbed if we're getting unstuck from here. At least we're trying to help, Not my fault you ran this way. Find it.
Oh, what are you reading?
I'm reading the parts where the knives are getting thrown.
Oh.
Well, they're still stuck. Alright, yeah.
Oh, and then I'm excited because then we get to do private scene.
Hey, what was the private scene? Let me just search your DMs now.
Did you do that?
So okay. So here's what happened. So Madison and Autumn get into it. They get into a fight. Madison insults Autumn, and Autumn says "fuck you," and Autumn storms off. And later in the forest, they're still walking around lost. And Autumn essentially tries to walk ahead of the group, is unsuccessful for a while, and then gets very successul and disappears from view from the group. And then we had one of our favorite things to do in the Cryptidverse, a private scene. So sometimes something will happen.
Wait, didn't you say that this was a Fox exclusive thing?
A what?
A what?
You said this was a Fox exclusive thing, I'm pretty sure. In the Fox
it was. But, we moved
you said, oh yeah, and then someone asked, will there ever be the private thing? You were just like, oh no, it's just a Fox thing.
Sometimes...
Did you ever actually just fire with that? Or lies as easy as you would?
Sometimes I lie.
Well said, Taka. Well said.
So then...
Wait, Fire, remind me, which one was the private scene again?
So what happened was there's actually only a couple private scenes in Truth or Tale, but this first one is when Autumn leaves the group. She's upset with Madison and she walks ahead of the group and she basically walks out of view. Autumn actually ends up finding the town before you all do. Actually, that's how you all find the town because Autumn alerts you to it. So I will read a little bit of it. So Autumn finds a small town to the left of her. She goes down in a quick jog and she meets a little girl named Maisie. And
amazing.
And the interesting thing about what Autumn finds is that the town is completely desolate. Except for Maisie. So no one else lives in the town for some reason except for Maisie. She says she made peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and she's asking where Autumn's friends are. And...
Wait. She asked about her friends.
No. That's not what happened. She asked if there were others, and Autumn said yes, and that's how that conversation started.
Yes, she asked were they because she said, "What are you doing in these woods?" And Autumn said, "You're filming a TV show. We're part of a filming crew. We're basically making footage about the Mothman myth. But my friends got lost in the woods." She asked if they were hungry, if she was hungry, and then she returns with sandwiches. Just bookmark that for folks. And do you know where they are? In the forest. So essentially Autumn gets a little bit weirded out and leaves, and she heads back into the forest. And here's the one thing that was notable, is that Autumn sees some faces show up in the window staring at her.
Through the window.
Mm-hmm. So Autumn actually notices...
Oh, is this the one, like, in the middle of the night?
It's when Autumn was still finding.
Yeah,
it was daytime, I believe, still. She saw faces in the window and just went back into the forest to find the others. She did find the others and led them back to the house where they ended up meeting. Yep. I am sorry I stole your line.
That was it. that was it. So Autumn comes back and grabs everyone, and everyone comes back to the town. Is to meet Maisie. What did you all think of Maisie?
Fire.
Yes.
First impression, adorable person. I loved it.
Yeah, Maisie's like a sweet kid. Also, there was also another important.
But I
thing
also had a
that
red flag.
happened.
What happened? Or did I miss something?
Well, in the forest, something happened.
Fight.
No, not the fight.
Well, tell us.
Oh,
Let me
Laura!
guess.
Laura got injured.
Yeah.
Oh.
Marion was
we-
carrying
that's
her
pretty
on her
irrelevant.
back
We
the
mentioned-
entire time.
Laura got injured.
Fire,
What to carry
how
her?
could you?
Injuries are
forgot.
irrelevant.
We mentioned it
Yeah.
briefly, but we didn't go into
You're,
it.
you're unbelievable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it served no
You're
actual
unbelievable.
purpose.
Well, true.
Yeah, don't tell Velvet this happened.
It's just
Don't
a
tell
hand.
Velvet.
We could
Don't tell
amputate that.
Velvet
You know.
any of it.
So yes, this injury is going to be a huge plot point later on
For what?
in the
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah, no, it was definitely a plot point.
Big old plot
Sorry.
point.
Oh,
definitely a
right,
plus.
So
right,
she-
right. That's
so
got
she-
kidnapped.
So
You know-
she-
Wait,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
getting
clear
there.
this out with you, Fire.
Yes.
I'm gonna clear this out with you right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not mad that you killed my character. I'm mad that you killed him first.
Who died first?
Marin!
Kaya's character. Kaya's character.
Who was
died
Marin
first.
again? Was that the special dude or no?
No, he's the tall guy, tall actor guy.
That's not very definitive.
Wait, I thought
Wait,
also
who was the
that's
special
not
guy?
very-
We'll get to deaths. We'll get to deaths later. We'll get to it later. So they get to the unmarked town. Let's talk about Maisie. What do we think about Maisie? We thought she was adorable. Yes.
I was a bit suspicious because unless this kid got out from a very young age how to hunt, how the hell did she survive alone in these woods?
I mean, I'm
Was-
sure kids can survive alone, but she had a house. She wasn't in the woods. She had a house.
Okay,
Made of
yeah,
brick.
but,
There's a
but she
house.
was.
Freedom.
I mean, okay, yeah, fair, but okay, what the hell does she hit
Correct.
the foot? Where does she hit the foot?
Yeah,
From the
everyone kept.
trees.
You all kept asking
Oh no,
about
she
her
was
mom.
living with someone. Macy was living with
Yes.
someone.
Yeah, her mom. Everyone was like, "Where's your mom?" She's like, "She's at work."
Wait,
Christopher.
at work?
Yeah, I
Where?
should've seen
At
the signs.
where?
You want the
I
honest
should've
red
seen the
flag?
signs.
The red flag that I
should've
had
seen
that's
the signs.
kind of obvious was the fact that the only welcoming person in town was a kid, and not the other adults who had been there way longer.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So the fact that everyone else was silent, staying in their homes and thinking at Autumn, and there was this one kid who instantly responded, even offered to give sandwiches, housed everything. That was a red
Yeah.
flag for me. But over
Like-
time, I just let it go. And over time being when you got the toothbrush scene. But we don't talk about that.
Oh, we're going to at some point.
Oh, the
did
toothbrush
I
scene.
mean, we
Even
don't talk
with
about that
anything?
right now.
We'll get there.
I mean, I
Who
did
was
just
the
brush my
victim?
teeth earlier, so.
So then, so what was the next thing that happened? So you guys go off and film after you stay at her place? Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And Laura starts convulsing.
Oh, yeah.
Laura
Oh
starts
yeah.
convulsing.
Oh yeah. So
What's going on?
yes, Maisie feeds you all.
And then
a
and then
lot.
Madison finds it. And then Madison finds it. What amusing?
Phoebe and Jace.
And yeah, no, Madison finds it amusing and decides to record the whole thing.
Yeah, Madison,
Okay,
Madison had a kind of a piece of shit moment there in the middle.
Yeah.
Look,
Yeah, no.
look, as
We have
much as a
we have-
POS Madison was, she is nowhere close to being the big dickhead that Dirk was. So,
No.
yeah.
Dickhead award goes to Dirk, for sure.
Yeah. Dirk.
Yes,
Dirk is jerk of the
Dick
year.
Stroker is the worst jerk of the day.
Mm-hmm.
So wait, hang on. So yeah, what did you all think of the convulsing thing with Laura?
I panicked.
Panicking.
I
Everyone
panicked.
is just,
I did not
oh,
know-
no,
I-
is she dying?
I did not know what to do.
Yeah.
So basically, Maisie is sort of like, she needs to rest here, she needs to hang out here. And this part was interesting because Laura sort of in her animalistic instincts, was just like, no, I want to be with them. I want to go with them. And Maisie's like, no. You need to stay here. You need to stay here. You're hurt. You literally were just convulsing. Chill out. And she kept trying to go with you all, which makes me so sad. This part makes me so sad.
Yeah.
Because she kept trying to go with you all to film.
I know. She was actually like really, really strong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was trying to. The whole time she was trying to go, but I had an agenda. So, I mean, what? So then.
Yeah, no shit.
We heard that fire.
Yeah, we heard that fire. You're
Agenda.
It's
What was
recorded
your
on the
agenda?
podcast. You can't do anything.
Yeah,
This is
no,
on
seriously.
record, we'll find it eventually.
So another big fight happens between Madison and Autumn, of course. Madison's not very liked at this point. Poor Madison.
I mean, she went from
Madison
this
was a
quite.
character that I personally liked, but I didn't like her in character, if that makes sense.
Yes.
My character didn't like the character, but I liked the character.
I did like Madison as well.
But that was not the case in Dirk, because I despised Dirk in character and out of character.
Yeah. And also we can talk about see a shadow, speaking of Madison. Also we can kind of talk about how
Bye, Shadow.
the star of Truth or Tale actually looks like it's kind of Dorothy, and then it ends up really being Madison, which is interesting. So, but anyway.
Yeah, well, that was kind of lovely.
Yeah, it's like
considering
it
how
shifts from
turned out.
here and there. I mean,
Yeah.
there were moments where
Yeah.
Dorothy was off camera, so
Final appearance from Dirk really set me off.
We'll get there. So,
Yeah, I did not expect
We'll
Dirk
get-
out of
hang
all
on,
the
hang
people.
on. We're gonna get there.
No.
No,
We're gonna
out
get
of
there.
all the people
No,
you could have
no,
chosen, you had
no,
to choose him.
No. Let fire speak.
Why?
Fire speak.
We're going.
Why would you do
We're
that?
going
No,
I mean, we
seriously.
could keep ranting about
Let him
Dirk.
speak.
Like, it's fine. We can keep ranting about him. It's fine.
You
So
can rant about him for a day, but let fire speak.
we ended up. So you guys ended up filming and going back and forth between filming and going to the town. Did anything interesting or noteworthy happen between? I'm trying to see the next like big plot point that happened. Lazy's house, late morning. If you guys remember anything, just shout it out.
I mean, the only things I remember were like basically interview with Macy, and
Remember how to
then
make noodles.
Dan.
Kiara, can you mute for a second?
Sorry.
You're good.
Believe that's okay. Oh god, that's
And
like
then
a
some
party.
dancing, and then after that there was more
yeah.
PBJ sandwiches.
Yeah, lots of PB&J. You guys were dancing to Take Me Home Country Roads.
Wait, didn't the voodoo things happen or
Which
the voodoo
things?
dolls?
No,
The
that's
dolls.
way
There was-
later. That's way later.
Fuck.
Okay.
Wait. When are we right now? When are we
So
right
we're
now?
we're at about June 13th.
Down.
They were they were dancing around. That was a cute scene actually, when everyone was like dancing
Yep.
with Maisie.
And sing.
Dancing and singing. You guys were dancing and singing with Take Me Home
In
Country
character
Roads.
for Dorothy.
When did that happen?
That was like you might
Country
have not
road.
been, you might have been
Wait, I just
Wait,
remembered
was
something.
I need to check this.
Wait, I just remembered something. Out of all of this, one thing that also kind of put me off was, since when did Laura, have feelings for Madison?
What?
Yeah,
What?
no, like,
Did I miss that?
here. Yes, you did. There's this scene. Well, Maisie's like, I can't wait, and she's on Marin's back, and then Laura is, and then you have Velvet. She's like, she groans unbelievable that she still likes Madison. Only if you kiss me. Smooth? And then Marin and the girl leave the house, and then Shy's like, what? You love the lady who tried to film your death, loco. And then Madison's like, all right. She gives
I
her a
said
gay
that?
quiz. Better. Yes, you said that.
Nothing, guys. Anyway.
I don't even remember that, but work. I love that. Happy
Wow.
Pride.
I don't remember anything.
So after
No, the
that,
fact that these two, like, that's
Very
not what ticks
strange.
me off.
It is
What
very
ticks
strange.
me off is, how did
Love
Laura
record
like
death
the girl who was
relationship.
trying to film her death? That's what kind of ticks me off.
Very strange.
I can't remember what movie it was, but someone was like, "I like crazy." This is definitely odd. Laura was crazy in a way to love.
Nothing.
What was the name? Madison, right? Yeah,
Yes.
Laura was crazy to love Madison.
Yeah, a little bit. So actually we're gonna get into Dorothy's backstory here because I do want to give this a moment in a second. But you all go to the woods and you start hearing some screams.
Yep.
You start hearing help, help, help. You guys have been filming. You were trying to find it, and you don't. And Dorothy thinks it recalls a memory for Dorothy. Do you want to get into the backstory a little bit, Swift, or?
Yep, I want to.
Yes.
So
tell us about Aquifer.
AKA Leah's character, who did not get into Truth or Tale, but then she managed to be part of it anyway.
Is Leah here?
So
no. Continue.
So yeah, basically Dorothy's backstory was that as revealed in her video diary as well as talking with Maisie, she said that she was originally from West Virginia. So her home was originally West Virginia. Like she does settle at Seattle at present, but she grew up in West Virginia during her childhood and high school years. So one day, she and Aquifer, a dear friend of hers from high school, a fellow cheerleading friend of hers from high school, they went to the same forest. They were planning to go on a camping trip. Then something happened. Basically, they heard something resembling wings flapping, and then they were like, "Okay, we better get out of here," because they realized that they think that it's like another predator. But then they're just confused. Like, why is there a predator up in the sky? And then why does it sound like it's coming for us? And then so they decided to run out of the forest. Dorothy made it out, but then she couldn't find her friend. Her friend was gone. Don't know what happened. And then she carried, that's actually part of the reason why she wanted to become a news reporter, so that she could try and find out what happened for herself.
Mm-hmm.
I did not mention that, but she didn't mention it outright, but it kind of she just repressed that memory of the forest. It's only until after she came back, she was just like, "Oh dear, I remember this place. I don't want to be here. Get me out of here." Yeah.
So with that backstory, so the gang goes back to Maisie's house, and late at night, Madison hears a phone ring while the others are asleep and decides to record it. Do you all remember this scene?
Yes.
So Madison grabs a camera. She picks up the phone, and it's very or late at night, I suppose, and she asks, "What do you want?" And she just gets breathing on the other end of the line, which is so creepy. She just hears breathing on the other end of the line, and suddenly a blaring high-pitched sound comes through the phone, like a high-pitched dial tone. And Madison's like, "What the fuck?" What did you all think of this scene? And what did you think was going to happen?
What scene?
First of all, Shai?
So this is when Madison hears the creepy breathing over the phone.
Nothing.
Oh, okay. So creepy breathing over the phone. First of all, I was reminded of the obituaries for the month of May. I was reminded of the fact that the Mothman usually communicates with their victims via technology, specifically a phone. So I'm just like, okay, this is definitely the Mothman. It's really the Mothman. It's the Mothman trying to target the group. So I was just like, okay, that's definitely the Mothman. Where is he coming in? I was just like, Mothman, where are you? Where are you so that we can try fighting back against you? Blah, blah, blah.
So Maisie is basically like, all right, yeah, sure, the Mothman. And she makes you guys some more food. And
Much food. Way too much food.
So much food.
Yeah. Hospitality, my friend. Hospitality.
Dragoon says, "I would not eat that food."
Wait, was there a peanut butter sandwich?
No,
I
this was
forgot.
this was eggs and bacon. This is eggs
Eggs
and
and
bacon.
bacon.
Oh,
She's diversified. She's diversified her palate. She now makes eggs and bacon.
Right. She also said
I
that
don't
there's
know
a
what
lot of
bacon
prank
tastes
calls
like.
going on around here.
Yes, she's like, there's prank calls, there's a bunch of kids, a bunch of jokesters. Don't worry about it.
okay, right.
Jokesters, don't worry
The,
about it.
the
Hypocritical.
creepy doll. It reminds me of Ghostface. That's what I wanted to say, but I couldn't
yes.
say.
It is
Oh,
very
Ghostface.
Ghostface. Yes, it is very Ghostface. It's good.
Ghostface, but he was perverted in a way. That's what it felt.
So Maisie tries to go on camera, and you guys let her. It's really fun. And what I found very interesting is that no one checked up on, this is why this worked out so well. No one checked up on Laura after her last scene, which is so funny because there was a private scene with Laura. I feel like I should read it now. Yeah, I guess I will. So I'm going to read. Let me find it. All right, here we go. So this is a private scene with Laura. Laura's sitting in bed. The house is terribly quiet. Humph. She was mad she was left behind, but was hoping she would recover quickly. Hoping they weren't going to be gone so long. Laura is still groggy, so she kind of can see her surroundings. Laura looks around. There weren't any medical supplies, so she tried going downstairs, which is a great thing to do. Always go in the basement when you're in a horror movie. Always. So she rolled. Laura trips and falls trying to get down the stairs. Something was really not right. She shouldn't be this sick. She was getting big cramps. She is now bleeding from the mouth. She says, ugh. She stood up. She bit her tongue, apparently. She's looking for bandages and gauze. She remembers that Maisie said that her mom was a nurse. So she said there must be bandages or gauze somewhere. So she looks around. She can't find anything. And then she picks up some old discolored gauze. So she actually finds a bunch of like wraps and gauze on the ground off to the side, but they're sort of discolored, like they'd been used. Very interesting. She tries to go back upstairs to maybe wash them off. Oh yes, Dragoon used to be our medic of New Hell City, and she's saying no infection, gross. So she finds some alcohol as well. But as she tries to go up the stairs, someone slams the door on her and locks it. No one knows who it is. She's about to go back downstairs, but she gets a feeling that she should not go back downstairs. And then she sees something. The lights.
I may not be.
The lights turn off downstairs. And she sees someone squinting at her. She sees like eyes. And she looks and she can't figure out what to do. So she starts to slowly go down the stairs, and it creaks. Eventually, I think she falls. No, that's what happens. Is under the stairs, a bunch of hands grab her ankles and pull her off the stairs. So she falls again. She tries to kick, and she feels a bunch of hands on her. And they're all grabbing her. She's like, "Tell me who you are." And it's kind of a long struggle. She gets to the stairs, and then she gets pulled all the way back down. Then she gets to the stairs again. She gets pulled all the way back down, and then she is knocked out. And then I had to tell Velvet, "All right, enjoy your break. I won't need you again for like a couple weeks." And she was like, "Oh damn." So that was the end of Laura's story for now. So that's how that worked. And everyone forgot about her, which is great. Great for me anyway. So then we get to the scene that Taka was talking about, where everyone goes into the woods for another day of filming, and they find some little treasures. What do they find, Swift?
Dolls. All of
Dolls.
them.
Voodoo dolls, if I say so myself.
Well, dolls of not all of them, but a select few of them.
Yeah.
Who has
Well,
dolls?
the first doll that was found. Yeah, Marin. And then after that, I think it was either Ruben, and then after that.
Okay, so wait. First it was Marin. Yeah. Then it was Ruben. Then there was one on the
There's
following
two more.
tree. Aquifer. There's Aquifer and there's Dorothy. There's Dorothy and Aquifer.
And then they
Wait,
find
there's more?
They find a final one that's a little different.
Laura.
Oh, Laura. Laura.
What's different about hers?
Burning.
Hers is burning.
Hers is burning. Is there anything that you can see, minus Aquifer, is there anything that you can see that's related to those four characters?
Oh my god.
Oh.
Fire.
What?
Fire? What is it?
Wait, I'm so confused. What?
So
What?
it's we only get those four characters who have dolls, and we notice that it is their headshots that have been used as the pictures.
Yeah.
So the one thing that connects all of those four people.
Yes.
Wait, they were.
They're all actors. All of the actors got dolls.
Oh.
Everyone who was on camera got dolls.
Everyone on screen.
Yes. There we go. So.
But then
You could have it a bit.
But then Aquifer was a special
obvious
case.
something.
What Taka?
I mean, that's strange because why would they put the actor specifically? I'm confused about that.
Well, it's interesting.
Why would they put the actor?
So
if they knew about the cast already, why did they not put anyone? They just put up the actors.
Just the actors. It's also
The
very
ones on
interesting.
screen.
syha'h. So they all come back to. So they're all very freaked out by the dolls. And they go back to Maisie's house. Maisie is like, "Oh my gosh, guys, stop freaking out. It's just a bunch of kids. It's not a big deal." And we always believe those people in the horror movies that are just like, "It's not a big deal. Chill out. Keep eating."
Well, the only movie that was actually like that was the one where they find out that there's a dead dancer inside a maid.
What is that from? What movie is that?
Oh, it's this one called Chandramukhi.
That's good. So then you all start to get a little bit suspicious of Maisie, and Madison is basically like, "Hey, can we?" Oh, that's what happens. I forgot about this. Basically, not Maisie. Madison asks, "What happened to Laura?" And basically, Maisie is like, "Oh, she had to go. She wanted to go home."
Of course, she was gonna ask. She was kissed her the first
She's like,
time.
she wants to go home.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, "Okay, so who took her away? Like, how did she get home? Like, we didn't have a car. Like, what's happening?"
Right, neighbors.
Sure,
Yeah.
he wanted to.
Mrs. Marple next door, who we've never met, is totally there. Yeah. So she was. Madison was like, Maisie was like, "Do you want to speak to her? Do you want me to call her?" And Madison's like, "Yeah." Did you all expect for Mrs. Marple to be real?
Mrs. Marple. Well, I was like,
Absolutely not.
Christy shout. First of all, I was like, asking for Christy shout out.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
So it turns out that Mrs. Marple is very real, and Madison talks to her and is basically like, "Oh yeah, she wanted to go home. She was fine. She just was tired and felt like going back home." She was like, "Oh."
You know what else gave me a red flag fire?
What?
You know, the fact that Laura earlier was so weak, she couldn't even talk. She couldn't form words properly. And yet somehow she had a chat with this random woman who took her to the train station and was chatting to her about anything as if she was perfectly fine. She wasn't injured. She wasn't convulsing earlier, and which made her so weak that she could talk all of a sudden. No, that gave me a major red flag.
Well, it didn't give any of the characters a major red flag because you guys really just dismissed it. So, all right.
Wait, to be fair, but the characters already had complication going on, so I don't think it would be fair to just be like out of nowhere say, "Oh yeah, where is Laura?" Because they already were like so within themselves. They weren't caring about anything else. So
they were.
I would think
freaked out about the voodoo.
Yeah.
So yes.
I think it was a little fair because if they did that, it would have felt a little meta, honestly.
Yep.
So then we get one of the most iconic scenes in Cryptidverse history, if I do say so myself.
First scene.
So, Maisie's house, early morning, long before sunrise. One of the cameras is clearly being moved around on foot. It's late night. The camera is using whatever night vision capabilities it has. The camera pans over the living room.
Okay, we got the idea. Just please tell me that toothbrush was Maisie's.
The camera pans over the living room with some of the sleeping crew. It gets in close to Dorothy's face as she sleeps, panning down her body. Then gets to Madison, getting so close, dangerously close to where she's breathing on the lens. The camera positions, then slowly climbing the stairs. We hear some labored, creepy breathing as this person does so. Whoever's on the other end is breathing really heavy. And once upstairs...
You know, if this wasn't a horror movie, this would just basically be a pervert just filming.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Once upstairs, the camera person enters the bedroom of Maisie, and pans in close on her sleeping. The camera person comes in close on Maisie's bed. We slowly see Maisie's covers getting pulled off of her. Was everyone getting freaked out at this point?
Well, was this
obviously
a pedophile?
Yeah, rest assured, I don't think I'll ever write a pedophile scene into the Cryptidverse, so don't worry.
Okay, cool.
So Maisie stirs. She's
You
still
do not
asleep.
need kind of trauma.
She rolls over to one side of her body, facing the camera person. She looks peaceful. She sleeps. The camera person points the camera at her, zooming in on her face. The camera person then goes into the bathroom, avoiding mirrors, of course. The person whose hand is out of frame grabs the nearest toothbrush and dips it into the toilet, scrubbing the insides. The person then goes back downstairs.
Please tell me that was Maisie's.
The person then goes back downstairs quietly and slowly before stopping by Ruben and ever so slightly with a small doll hand attached to a stick of some kind, rubbing the side of his face, moving his hair from his face a bit. The camera's then set down and turned off. That part is the creepiest. The little doll hand just touching someone's face. Anyway.
No, actually, I see too many of that. I think it's the fact that they zoomed in on Maisie so much.
Yeah.
What was the creepiest part of that?
And also, this is what I mean when I said they're voodoo dolls.
Potential, I just like the fact that everyone was more concerned about the toothbrush than the fact that this guy's creepily filming women sleeping and dudes sleeping.
Yeah.
I mean, the toothbrush was a bit interesting because they were so focused on Maisie in this case and not like everyone else that was brought here, you know? They were like they wanted her for some reason,
Yeah.
So who do we think it was? Do you have any idea?
Creepy breathing. It's just, I don't know. It doesn't indicate anything, but.
Sure, yeah. What did you all think about it? What did you all feel about the scene? Were you like?
Well, when it started out, I thought it was Maisie. But
yeah,
now
I thought you would.
Now that it's actually progressed out, I'm not sure who it was. But now that the entire thing is done, I'm guessing it was one of those. I say this with quotation marks. One of those kids.
Praise the mic control.
One of those kids.
Yeah.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah, but who's the person handling the camera was the big mystery, though.
Yes. And so were you all surprised to know that it wasn't Maisie?
No.
Not that good.
Okay.
No, I mean, would she be able to hold a camera as heavy as that, though?
Yeah.
Yeah. But then again, another theory that I just had right now, which I realize is actually stupid, but at the same time it's not.
No. All
Was that-
theories are good and valid.
Ha! I don't think you're going to think this one's valid. But anyways, remember when I said that when the dolls came up, I actually thought those were voodoo dolls?
Mm-hmm.
So, when they were talking about the doll hand, I thought this was one of those kind of scenes where the doll suddenly comes to life and starts doing horrifying things. So in
Like
this
Chucky.
case, it was a doll with Ruben. Yes. So in this case, it was Ruben's doll. That was,
Yeah.
holding the camera.
Getting creepy. I love that scene. Anyway,
This
so
is the Cryptidverse. This
so
has
this
to
is
be-
the Cryptidverse. So the next morning, the crew goes over the footage of what happened last night,
Yep.
and they're looking at the stuff from the woods and like all the voodoo dolls. Of course, Maisie's like, guys, people are pranksters. It's not a big deal.
Maisie, you keep pointing out the prankster excuse. Like, have you actually encountered pranksters at all?
And
also because they're like, with no one else around, why would a prankster go here just to mess with one, with the kid?
there's
I
a
don't
bunch
know.
of people, yeah.
Yeah, like,
So-
and the fact that the adults actually don't really do that much, and Maisie's like the only kid present, or rather, the only kid who's like visibly active in the town. It's like, yeah, like, do you really think they're pranksters around?
Dragoon says Maisie's totally chill. Oh my god, she brushed her teeth with the toilet brush. Well,
Yeah, I knew it. The brush was hers. The brush was hers.
is it? I don't know.
Mind control toothbrush.
Interesting.
Yeah, it has to be a mind control plus that.
Okay.
That's an interesting case because they just used the toilet, nothing else. Does that mean the water maybe contaminated the food?
So then they notice something a little bit odd that they didn't notice before about the footage from the forest.
Which is the glitch.
Yeah.
Yes, the footage keeps glitching, which is very strange.
Mothman is corrupting technology. Anyway.
But Autumn happens to do some nice pausing work and notices that right
A hand.
before they find Laura's doll, they find a hand that puts the doll there. Who did we think this was? I mean, what do we think of this moment?
Okay, so someone is in leagues with the Mothman? Question mark? Or
Very interesting.
Oh, buddy.
So, is that a child in the background?
yeah.
Oh,
No,
Oh wait, that was me. Sorry.
But yeah, like there is the fact that the fact that there's a hand there, like just the hand just sticking out, like at that split second, it's just okay. Someone was definitely stalking the group, and
Yeah.
how they managed to get like the photos. Well, for Aquifer it could kind of make sense. Probably got it from one of her belongings from years ago, but the rest of the group, their headshots. Question mark? Question mark? Question mark? How? Question mark? Question mark? Question mark?
Oh yes. And then Maisie comes down and brushes her teeth, and that's the end of that.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, and then, oh.
So I think this is the moment where they, so Maisie basically tells them the next day while she's on camera, she's like, okay, well, there is a weird cave that you guys can come to. And everyone's like, all right, yeah,
And
sure,
that
we can
is
see the
where
cave.
this whole thing goes to the dog.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. She's like, no big deal. I haven't told you about this before, but there's a cave. And so Maisie leaves.
And then all of a sudden, that's when she mentions the fact that there are other kids around the town.
Yeah. Like, up until this moment, Maisie was the only kid that they saw.
Yeah.
So, And then she's like, "Oh yeah, there are other kids around the town doing pranks and all that stuff. Where are the other kids?" Of course, the characters didn't bother asking that, but where are the other kids?
Where are the other kids? The world wants to know. So everyone gets to the mouth.
Actually, it's not exactly the world.
New Elf City wants to know. So the everyone gets to the mouth of the cave, and Dorothy goes in first. Everyone decides to go in together. And
there's only one flashlight. That's why everyone had to stick together.
There's only one flashlight. Yeah. So what is the first thing? So you guys go get to a crossroads. I remember that.
Yeah.
And does everyone go the same way? Yeah, everyone goes the same way. Oh yes.
Yeah.
And then the cave loops.
Like basically, I had to flip a coin on which direction they had to go to.
I love that. So everyone walks, and they find themselves after a while back at the same crossroads that they were just at, which does not make sense. They were like,
and then that's like the moment where meta-wise people would have just told them, just get out of there. If it's in a circle, just try finding your way out. But then, of course, everyone had to be curious about why the cave was looping.
Mm-hmm. And then this is the first time we see Ruben start to get a little bit ill. He starts cramping up.
And then nothing happens.
All good, but just, of note. And then our friend Marin hears some very strange language.
Cthulhu speak. That's what I am calling it from here on out. Cthulhu speak.
What did you all think of the weird, chanting?
What's happening? My first thought was, what's the translation? I was like, of course, it's horror, but then what's the translation? Because I don't know what they're chanting.
One day I'll find out.
Do I have to do a Caesar cipher? Because I want to know what it means, the chanting.
And then we get a really, really loud shriek, and then everyone freaks out. Yep. And it is go time. So did everyone get freaked out? Was everyone ready for what was to come?
Well, maybe not. Most likely not. But then I think it happened shortly after or before Maisie ran off to the next direction.
Yes. So this is actually what happened. That happened just after. So yeah, Maisie all of a sudden just takes off into a sprint.
And then Ruben and Dorothy follow.
Yes, and they follow.
And then basically the others were stuck at the crossroads, but then for some reason they also managed to follow the two. Even if Dorothy was the one with the flashlight. I think it was because they saw the glimmering light from the flashlight.
They did, yeah.
Okay.
So this is so it's
okay.
Dorothy and Marin are
Ruben.
first. Oh, Ruben are first. That's right. Dorothy and Ruben are first.
Okay.
And then something grabs Dorothy
by the ankles.
Yeah, something grabs Dorothy by the ankle. She says, "Help! It's pulling me!" And everyone rolls to grab Dorothy, and they just miss her hand, and Dorothy gets pulled all the way out of sight. And disappears. How did you feel about this, Swift? Were you ready? Do you think you were gonna die?
Well, honestly, combined with Dorothy's backstory, I was just yeah, I kinda anticipated something would happen.
Oh my gosh! This is what it got crunk. It got too crunk. Okay, so
nothing, guys. Anyway, what?
So
yeah,
yeah, and I guess we'll read the private scene later.
Because she was knocked out after that.
Yeah, she was knocked out after that. Yeah, so Ruben is still a little ill, trying to figure out things.
And then Marin.
Is this the part where? What's the next thing that happens?
Well, this is the part where
Marin goes in with Autumn. Marin goes in with Autumn.
Where they decide, okay, let's rescue Dorothy.
Oh yeah. So okay. So they see a little pocket of light, and they hear some chanting, or they hear some shrieking, and they go in to find. What do they find, Kiara?
Okay, yeah, let me just check over. So, yeah, I'm just going through the 1 minute. Right, skittering around the cave, sound of loud wings. And then there's Madison, of course, who's filming this whole thing. God, sometimes I just want to slap that bitch.
I love it. But when they crawled into the cave, they crawled into the little hole, and they find the.
Right. Then they see like a silhouette, a shadow, coming inside.
I think
before
it was
that,
just Marin for
they,
now.
Yeah, they found. So basically they look and they see a bunch of young kids basically surrounding the three people.
Hold on, wasn't that in the private scene? Wasn't that the private scene?
Oh yeah, I mean, we can talk about it now. It's okay now.
Yeah, that was after.
More on the
that was
private
after
scene
Autumn.
between-
What did Autumn do first?
No. Like there was a time when Marin, Autumn, Madison, and I'm guessing Ruben as well. They were all trying to search first, and then something happened. A small creature jumps in view of the camera and jumps on Madison and goes down with the camera. The camera is now sitting sideways, and in view, Madison is being attacked in the face by a small winged, devilish-looking creature.
That's right.
You know, now that
moth baby. That's it. That's
That's
a moth
right.
baby.
So a small winged creature is like attacking.
now that I
Madison.
think about it, I wouldn't be surprised if Maisie was also one of those moth babies.
Well,
Somehow hides her skin.
So the creature attacks Madison, and then runs off, right?
Yep.
So everyone keeps walking for some reason. I mean, I guess they have no other choice. So they keep walking, and is this when you find the pocket of light? I think this is it.
Wait, I don't think so.
The private.
Yeah, this is when the private DM happened. So, yeah, it's like I feel like this cliche.
Right.
Yep, that's pretty much what this is.
No, after this, they went all the way back, and they rolled again, like, and then they reached the crossroads, and then Marin got like so annoyed. He's like, this can't be happening. So he tells Autumn to go with Madison and Ruben and wait outside. And then after that, Kiara goes back into the cave at the same time, and that's when the private scene happens.
Yes. So what does Marin find in this little hole?
Like, what's the full private scene? Because
Marin finds.
Because I think it's we might have stopped because it was the group DM, but we probably left it so it's not there anymore. But I can explain it. So essentially, what happens is that Marin falls to the hole and sees basically this wide open space where a bunch of kids are gathered around three people who are pinned up to crosses. It is Dorothy, Marjorie, and Laura. Who we haven't seen at this point in a while.
Yep.
So, essentially, Marin is watching all of these. So it's kids in the middle, human kids in the middle, and then these winged creatures kind of all over the walls and off in the corner and stuff like that. It's sort of a very sacrificial kind of looking thing that's happening.
Yeah,
sacrifice three young virgins.
The thing over here. Okay, wow, Swift, wow. Okay, so like, Marin was trying to point this out to the entire group that Maisie heard someone call her. So, but what I'm guessing is that no one must have actually paid attention because they kind of just went through their own thing. So Marin just kind of gave up in asking them to notice.
Mm-hmm. That is true. Someone called Maisie. And so Marin actually sees Maisie in the group of kids, and they are all chanting at the three who are being held up, and so Marin decides to go help them. Don't you, Marin?
Yep.
How does that go for you, Marin?
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Of course I remember. In fact, I was the one that died first.
Yeah. It was heartbreaking.
Yes, it's very sad. It's the
Honestly.
only death to happen in the DMs. Yeah. So essentially, what happened was that I mean, do you remember? Because I don't think we have the transcript here. But
Alright. Basically,
Show
Marin was
the-
trying. Yeah.
the ends in the end? Or am I forgetting something?
this is. Did you say something happened before the DM?
No, actually, there.
Yeah, like, basically. Alright, so.
This was
basically
off
what happened was
camera,
that
so.
it's not on camera, but
Right.
I think he went for Dorothy
yeah, so it was
first.
off- so that's why I was.
That's right. He did. He went for Dorothy first.
Yeah, no, he went for Dorothy first.
And then he was So everyone. So he tried to be stealthy. Did not work. And he went for Dorothy first. The kids noticed and all tried to attack him. Marin's a very large man, so was able to fight them off for a while.
But
Correction. Did attack and managed to kill.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that is right. You killed one of the kids. Yeah. And then
Just a couple before they killed.
But then they overpowered Marin, and then they all started eating him, which is
Ugh.
a lovely visual.
Oh.
yeah, and then
Yes,
And then
lovely
just as-
indeed, Fire. Since you're a demon
but
from
then
hell.
just as his life was getting
dying.
Yeah, just as he was dying. Oh boy. Like his
First
final
and last confession of love.
Yeah.
Dragoon said, "See, that's why I don't eat the food at Maisie's home." Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Like-
so Marin is the first one to die, is eaten alive by the kids. And then I believe this is when Autumn comes in and tries to help. Is that
Yeah,
right?
like-
yeah, after that, you just come
Mhm.
back to the
Like
group
the
arc.
rest basically come in, or Autumn, and it's either Autumn only or was it just Autumn?
It was just Autumn. So
No, everybody came back in.
yes, everybody came back in, but Autumn goes in first. So essentially, Madison basically brings in the camera, sees Marin's mutilated body, and Autumn then comes and tries to help. I've never seen Shy roll so poorly in a set than this moment, because
Yeah.
Autumn.
Rollum is a wild card. Like,
Such a
don't
wild
you ever
card.
trust like when you roll to like either do something or like expect Rollum to just not give you any favors at all.
Mhm.
That's it. Like just
Yeah.
think of Rollum as the just think of a low roll as soon as you even bother rolling in Rollum, because
Yeah.
you will be on a
It's like when you don't expect anything, you get something. Like I know, okay, this might be going off
it's
topic,
like
but
reverse.
like how
it's like reverse
Swift was
psychology.
expecting that Katya was gonna die when she actually survived that one time within a D2.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
I mean, yeah, but she said the same
that was
the
chaotic.
last time, and then it did happen. So
Yeah, like reverse psychology sometimes either works or doesn't work for the freaking dice. Like hell,
So something happens a little bit interesting while Autumn is trying to free the folk. Is that Madison throws up completely out of nowhere, and throws up an ear.
Oh god, that was disturbing. That was disturbing, Fire. Why you gotta do us like this?
So what did you think about?
anybody's me.
yeah.
What did you think about that?
That
Wait,
was
so-
disturbing.
Wait, so the peanut butter and jelly sandwiches had ears?
Yeah.
Not
I
just
am
ears, I think
thinking
there were
this is.
fingers.
It was a piece.
too.
It was a piece of an ear. It was a piece of an ear. To be fair, it wasn't a giant
It
ear.
was a piece of a human. That's the
Yes.
important thing.
Yes.
And that is a thing because remember what happened in another state? Kids eating themselves. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Fire
Oh,
did that
wow.
in. Yeah, I remember like because they were trying to make something, but and they did it, but it killed everyone. And this happened again, but this kid is like normal, more or less.
Mm-hmm.
And she was just giving everyone pieces of, body parts without any one of them noticing even flavors, nothing at all. So that's a thing.
It is a
No
thing.
one noticed. No one noticed that they were eating. Like not even a difference of flavor.
No, not at all. I mean,
Yep.
listen. You can listen. Humans actually taste. They kind of taste like chicken a little bit. Just saying.
Why
true.
Tastes
would
like
we eat
chicken.
chicken on like when we were
You
not
know,
done?
this is one of
like,
those
with
few
butter
times that I'm happy that I'm a vegetarian. Like, this is one of those few times that I'm happy that I'm a vegetarian. Like,
Chicken.
that,
Chicken.
Like, now that you told me this, I don't think I don't think I'll ever even touch non-vegetarian food again.
You just gave her nightmares.
Like,
Fire.
absolutely not. You.
So
Yeah.
So what ends up happening is that Autumn actually frees Dorothy, even though the kids are very, very upset about this. They're all bloodied and
Of
chanting.
course.
And Autumn is very, very much in
The
pain.
question I'm still freaking curious about what's the translation of that Cthulhu speak.
I'm sure you are.
Oh,
So-
God, Swift.
So then, so what's interesting is that the kids are not touching Dorothy. They're not. They're making sure that they don't hurt Dorothy. They let her pass, but not
Oh.
Autumn. Autumn, they try to attack.
Hold
The
on.
kids jumping on Autumn, and she tries to fight them off. And then Swift rolls a 1. And that is when the cave begins rumbling. And so we, in the camera, all we see is a distorted giant being. And it comes inside to the room, to the large room. And what is the first thing it does? I'm trying to remember what's the first. I know what it does. Oh yeah, so first thing it does,
Killed Autumn with a wing.
it swats
With a
Autumn.
wing flap.
It literally swats Autumn, and Autumn goes flying across the room, killing her. Shy dies.
Right.
Shy's character dies.
Right.
And then
Honestly, the only 2 people who actually died in this entire thing is Marin and Autumn. The rest of
Yeah.
everyone's just missing.
yeah, I think this is next. Besides the dating game, this is the least amount of deaths we've ever had in the Cryptidverse.
Yeah, like if you consider not counting like what would eventually happen to Laura and Dorothy.
So the winged creature then grabs Dorothy and Laura, leaves Marjorie, but grabs Dorothy and Laura and walks away.
Yeah, but why? I was just curious about why the kids were like, okay, let's not touch either of these girls.
Because they're a sacrifice, and maybe they think if they touch them too much, it won't work or something.
Well, it seems.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm not getting anything similar with them unless Dorothy was also injured gravely at one time.
Well, listen, the Mothman
There's
works in
literally
mysterious
nothing
ways.
else in common.
The Mothman wanted.
Yeah.
The Mothman wanted what he wanted. So he grabbed them, and this is the last time we see Dorothy and Laura in the ERP. We don't know what happens to them.
And
Yeah.
I'm
And then
just
after
thinking
that,
that
there's
Dorothy,
Madison and
Dorothy was like she held on a bit longer until she died of despair.
Yep. Oh yeah. Well, how did you feel about your final scene, Swift?
Yeah, I even sent you like a final, not really death message, but more like a final message in the DM.
yeah.
In your DM's fire, I sent it.
Would you like to read it?
All right, here it is. I sent it
Kiara,
in
can
the
you just
DM.
mute
with
for
fire.
a second while she reads this?
All right, so here goes. So this was written June 23, 2021. Okay, so Dorothy continued to struggle helplessly, just trying to comprehend all of it happening to her. To Laura, Autumn, Marin, everyone. She wasn't going to see the light of day any longer. Her head now had hung ruefully as she was being carried away. Her mind went back to that day. back when she ran away from the forest, away from what was chasing her and Aquifer down, away from those sounds of wings flapping ominously in the air. Those wings that she now realized belonged to this thing carrying her far from a safe haven. She had made it out, but Aquifer, that day, Dorothy knew that running away was a mistake she shouldn't have done. And now, she didn't dare run away anymore. But at what cost? Marin and Autumn, dead. And now her and Laura were going to be... Aquifer, I didn't run. Will I get to see you again? Her voice choked out, tone simply full of defeat.
Oh.
And that's it.
That's the last we see of
Wow.
our hero Dorothy.
Wow. That's actually really, really touching.
It's very sad. Well, Swift is known for her final messages. So,
That's true.
So eventually, we're left with two more characters, Madison and Ruben, and they are pretty much trying to book it out of there. The creatures are trying to follow them. They just barely get out of the cave.
Barely get out.
Barely get out. And one of the creatures actually grabs Madison's leg as she's about to exit. And Shadow writes out of character, "Fire, please," which I thought was so sad. Shadow was like, "Please don't kill my character again." Shadow is known for all his characters dying, all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The poor soul has the funny thing is that not only has his characters died, his characters has died when most of them to Leia.
Yeah, Leia's the reason why most of them die. Yeah.
Chico, in the Fox.
Like, mostly near Leia's characters.
Very
but
sad. And also,
Yeah.
like, God,
it's just coincidental.
Sophia's
freaking coincidence.
Death in the Fox still is just like, God damn it, I can't believe it happened. Anyway, so Madison is like begging to get out. She tries to get out, and then she does. And as they get out, they start to hear that familiar rumbling again, and something tries to reach out for them. And it seems to be whatever creature that took away Madison and Dorothy and Laura. And Madison is basically like grabbing Ruben and being like, "Come on, we got to go. Let's go. And Ruben says, "No, I'm not gonna go." And his final message was, so basically Madison says, "If you don't begin to run, I'll leave you here." And Ruben says, "If that's so, then you go. Be free. I'm perfectly fine here. After all, I think I've achieved my lifelong dream. I can finally live again. What more could I possibly ask for?" And the creature grabs Ruben and pulls him in.
That's funny because if Ruben wasn't so interested on that, they would actually have another witness to it.
Yeah.
They would have another person to say, "Oh yeah, they survived to a fucking monster," but because Ruben was like that, Madison was left alone.
Yeah. We almost
if
had two
you-
survivors.
Yeah, like if you guessed one person, I remember when you guessed that there was only one person to survive this roleplay. If no one was any other person, your guess would have been so wrong.
Yeah. I guessed at the very beginning of this that one person would survive. And I was right. I want you all to know that I was right. So Madison is the one and only survivor.
Who gets roasted?
Yeah.
And then something else. So Madison begins to run and cry, and then the footage cuts out, and then we are in the 13th precinct in an interrogation room at 8:23 a.m. Madison Parker. So I'm going to read this out. The officer says, "This is Madison Parker's confessional take 5, I guess. Madison, is there a reason why you're not talking to us?" "I don't know," Madison stutters. "Well, honey, 5 of your friends are dead or missing, and you're here, and what am I supposed to do with that information?" "I'm not entirely sure. I am still trying to completely recover from the horrors I saw." And then the officer goes, "So we see you all arrive at Point Pleasant. You barge to a little girl's house who is still missing, by the way. And then we see you filming your friends. Oh yes, I also forgot to mention, at the very end of the cave bit, we actually saw those kids sprout wings. They got wings like, coming out of their body.
Yeah.
So that's of note. So basically, the officer says we have footage of you walking into a cave, and then it cuts and you're running away. What did you all think of that moment? That everything that Madison filmed in the cave was not there.
Mothman corrupts technology. Confirmed.
So basically, essentially Madison is being pretty clearly looked at for the murder and disappearance of the rest of the crew. And basically, the officer says, "All right, I think we're done here. We have your friend in the next room, who I'm sure will be able to put this to rest." And Madison says, "My friend? Someone else lived?" The camera cuts out, and guess who shows back up? Everyone's favorite
Dirk Strider. Everybody's favorite driver.
So Dirk Strider comes in. Thanks for coming all the way back to talk to us, Mr. Stryker. Keep the coffee coming. It's Strider, by the way. I genuinely made that mistake. I genuinely called him Stryker, and I didn't mean to, but I had to roll with it. And I'm glad that Ara was good to play with that. She says Strider, right? The officer asks if Dirk knew anything about the cast, like the crew. Is there anything weird, struggles? He says, well, that Ruben guy was a bit off the wall, you know? Too much childhood fame or whatever. Coffee sip. Autumn never listened to a damn thing and wanted to run the whole show, but from how it seemed to me. Laura was pretty abrasive with me, but outside of that, she was fine with the group. So then they ask about Autumn Lake and Marin, Dirk. He asked, did you have any interaction with Madison Parker? She was behind the camera mostly. And Dirk says, not really. We had some chit-chat, bullshit on the drive. Pretty much impossible not to. I had one rule, don't mess up my van. Then they went and put some crazy-ass blood-covered chicken, and she puked. I really had no idea what they did or where they went to after that, but they're alive. But they were all alive and generally pissed off with me when I left them. And she said, the officer says,
wanted to the murder.
Did you witness any tension in the passengers or anyone uncomfortable with her? And then Dirk says, to his credit, he says, not that I can tell. Her and Laura were kind of close. Look, I've been doing this shit for a long time. Some people are on the road. It's just a bunch of theater nerds. Here's the part that's good. Basically what I'm saying is most of them couldn't fight their way out of a wet paper bag, let alone kill anybody else. Whoever you're looking for that did whatever happened, it'd be all on the tapes, I imagine. They had those damn cameras running 24/7. And then the officer says,
almost 24/7.
You've given us a lot to think about, Mr. Strider.
Alice here.
Wait, what'd you say?
Aragorn is here.
Oh, is Ara here?
Yeah.
That's so funny. Hi, Ara.
Oh, hey, Ari.
I thought you were talking about him. Okay, Alice, please show you.
Get him. Yes. Ara, I did not think Ara was going to be here. Ara was going to tag you because everyone had gone on like a 30-minute rant about how they felt about Dirk. Oh my god, it's so funny.
Oh, yeah?
God, now I don't know if I should feel guilty or not.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'm not feeling guilty because generally, Dirk Strider is just oh boy, he's a very interesting one to say the least. And yeah, we had plenty to say about Dirk Strider.
I believe we did a 1, 2, 3 fuck
Nice
Dirk
save, buddy.
chant.
Did y'all remember? Did y'all remember that Dirk only had one rule: don't get the van dirty.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And what did they do? Get the van dirty.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what happened. Is Dirk inspired by anyone, Ara?
Me.
God, I wish you had said
Oh.
It's me.
Okay. Wow.
Oh boy.
Yes.
Oh wow.
No, I cannot.
This is gonna be a
unsee you
long
just,
story.
going around.
Yep.
I cannot unsee you just going around with a band.
Oh my god, that's so
Uh-huh.
funny. That's so funny.
Yeah. Dirk has been my first and only self-insert character for anything.
Nice.
Oh man, truly the most hated character of the CV. This is great. Dirk is iconic. Dirk is iconic.
I bet Dirk would even win a heli if there was the most hated
Honestly,
RP character.
I might be voting for Dirk for best RP character. I'm not even kidding.
Oh my god!
Just because of how hated he is, it is so iconic. I love it. I love it. Oh man.
I
Then
have,
again, if you hate the character, you gotta love the actor.
That is true. That is very true.
but I have kicked people out of my vehicle before for puking in it. It's not.
Oh,
It's
wow.
not great.
I mean, no, I agree with that. I mean, puking in a vehicle, I agree with that. I don't know that I would kick out someone who is in distress, but I don't know. Who knows? Who knows what I'd do?
No, it's. I was gonna go a totally different way with that too, cause like, Dirk has tarps and shit in his van. He was gonna, grab one, spread one out in the back of the van so they could put this chick inside. But no, nobody listened.
Yes.
Dragoon says, at least let them take out the iced tea first before kicking them out. Oh yes, everyone was very upset about the iced tea.
Now he used the
Everyone
backpack.
was. Oh my god. I don't understand their obsession with iced tea. Wait, is that good or something?
It's good, but yeah, he used their backpack to scrub up most of the puke and then returned it to them.
Oh.
I forgot about that.
Oh.
It was,
Yeah, I
God.
forgot that happened
it
too.
was covered in puke. Oh god. Oh man. Dirk
The
is...
iced tea was fine. It was inside the backpack.
Yeah. Sorry I said a random yes, but because apparently the 4th of July was also the 4th of July. It's 4th of July over there,
That's
right?
4th of July, yes.
Yeah, but it's also the date that America granted the Philippines freedom. Okay, that's a quick fact done. Enough.
So
Happy
wow.
Trader Day, Fire.
thank you. Thanks. I think so. Dirk, this is the very end. This is such a funny. I'm glad things and stuff and words. So Dirk comes in and basically says like they couldn't have killed anyone, and the officer is like, yeah, that's great. Sounds nice. We've already made up our mind. Thank you. Bye.
Man.
Hey, thanks. Bye.
But Dirk got his coffee, so I think he's fine. Do you think Dirk is guilty about any of this?
Nope.
I mean, he literally killed the biker dude
We talked about that.
in
Okay.
cold blood.
Wait. I'm sorry. We're going back. We never do this on the podcast. We're going back to this scene because this is something that we paused about, and I was like, can we all remember that Dirk killed somebody? Can we all remember that Dirk killed somebody and no one said anything?
I mean,
Yes.
like,
I mean-
okay, to be fair, the Vikings were
I think it was
attacking
the
them,
fact that
so
no one
why?
realized that Dirk actually killed somebody.
Actually, Fire, can I post our
Yes,
thing
yes, you may.
from that?
You may post
Okay.
everything. Yes.
I
Because
will grab that.
I can't. I like Dirk. I remember the top 5 saddest deaths in CB. Random biker number 3. You know what? We need to do a top 5
Oh my God.
saddest NPC deaths, and that's going to be the number 1. Biker who tried to kill them.
Yeah, that's gonna be number 1.
I mean, yeah, that's exactly why I didn't mind them. I mean, it was obvious he killed someone. It's just, why would you mind the biker dude being killed?
You can you can post it in bonfire text chat whenever you get it.
Just grab that
It
now.
is. I can't believe it. I still
How,
like.
how does a tea have wife? Shai, please explain how does a tea have a wife?
Oh, Shy's number 1 death is iced tea. I don't think it died. Oh, there we go.
Ice tea.
Yes.
Ice T. R.I.P. Ice D. You were good when it lasted.
So this was the scene. I will read it out. Yeah. So for blah, 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 would you do that? So Dirk says, "Good luck walking home on that, because your bike is fucked." Which I kind of love. Dirk brings his work boot down on the guy's injured leg. The guy says, "Ah, fuck." The biker looks around. So the biker had a knife. This knife is nowhere near him. Dirk says, "Looking for something, Chief?" Dirk now has his snub-nosed revolver aimed at the guy's face. You want to bleed out like a stuck pig? Like the stuck pig you are, you want gang violence. Like, truly unhinged, this individual. I just want you all to understand what you were driving with.
Yeah.
And then he says, "Do it, fucker."
Yeah.
And then Dirk says, "Fine by me, Chico." Dirk shifts his aim and shoots the guy in the crotch. The biker moves upwards at the last second, nearly avoiding the shot, somehow, but feeling the impact to the ground between his legs. He says, "You're a shit shot." And Dirk says, "Bite me." Dirk plants his foot on the guy's junk and the revolver point blank in the stomach, pulling the trigger twice, expending his last 2 rounds. The man dies.
Cool.
So that's who you all hired to drive you. Would just like you to
You know, I'm gonna be honest. If I'm gonna be honest here, even though Dirk was a straight up piece of shit, I lived for his cursing. Like,
Me too. Me too. I love.
That's mine.
We're all just
like
gonna
I
be
lived
Come on.
for it. You said you weren't gonna cut me off. No.
iconic. Iconic. I love it.
Yep, iconic indeed.
So eventually. Oh yes. So my final question is: do you think Dirk feels guilty about what happened to the cast?
I mean,
I don't think so. I don't know.
I don't think so either.
he'll feel bad
I don't
about
think-
it. But outside of that, it's just like, eh?
I mean, an innocent girl got framed for murder, but yeah, it's cool. It's all
You're
good.
getting 5 minutes.
That
I mean,
part's
to be
shitty.
fair, Madison started to become a bit of a dick, but with
Shy is public enemy number 1 is Dirk, apparently. So
That's true.
So the final thing that happens is that they go back in the interrogation room, basically saying that we've confirmed what we have about you, that you were fighting with the crew. Basically, I was telling the gang that I genuinely said the wrong name for Dirk and then just worked it into the character. Which was
Yeah.
You're like, it's straight, by the way. Like, yeah. For sure. So basically, the officer says that we've confirmed. Dirk said that you were pugnacious. You were fighting with the crew. You were the one who initiated this trip to visit the Mothman. Said you were jealous of Dorothy Jones. And so basically,
Wait, did I miss that part?
Yes,
Did I miss that
the
part?
last thing,
Yeah, that was the last part. He was
Really?
like, he was just trying to get he was just trying to get Madison to confess a crime she didn't commit.
Yeah. So Madison is pinned for the disappearance and murder. Oh, here, wait, your mic.
Please put your mic. We cannot hear anything. That's okay.
You're good. So Madison is like, I didn't do it. Please believe me. She's crying. I didn't do it. And then this last part, she says, someone says, all right, how do I turn this off? The footage cuts off some static. After a time, we hear a young voice say, did I do a good job? And then an older voice say, and me, how did I do? And then someone else says, I'm sorry, sir, you're breaking up a bit there. Which is the line that Dirk heard when he called the ambulance. And then another line, he said it. He just took off in the night like a big old bat. How do you like that? And that was the person that they interviewed. That was the voice of the person that they interviewed at the motel. Remember that? And then a low, unintelligible voice comes through saying something inhuman. And after silence, you hear a chorus of the chant that was in the cave. And then the tape cuts out, and then we get the final the intro for Truth or Tale. And that was the end of the RP. How did you... Theories? Did you all have any feelings? Did you...
Well, okay, I have two major questions about this one.
Yes.
Well, two major questions. Okay, so the first question is, what's the translation of that chant? Second question is...
Swift, you've been asking us that the entire episode.
Yep, pretty
Yep.
much.
Like, my priorities are endless. Anyway, so my priorities are very interesting also. But yeah, what's the translation of that Cthulhu speak? Second question, who was the guy filming? Who was the guy handling the camera in that one scene?
Great question.
The one who was like breathing so creepily to the point where he sounded like a pervert on camera.
These are all good questions. I can't answer either of them. So, but I think
Okay. Let me.
here's
Fire.
here's one theory.
Fire.
Can I give you the
Fire.
first theory?
Okay, sure. Why not?
I'll give you the first theory. There's a possibility that all of these people are the same person, and the Mothman can shapeshift. That's one theory. That's just what I have. Does anyone else have any other theories? Go ahead, Kira.
Okay, I don't have a theory, but I do have a question.
Okay.
Over here. Wait, hang on. Let me just remember what. Yeah, no. Let me just remember what it was. Yeah. Do you think one thing that I want to know is I did have a theory when I heard this the first time, which was was this entire thing staged just to kill a bunch of people? Or were these guys targeted? Because, see, they had to be selected because this was a talk show in a way, right? So were these guys selected because they had something in common and then murdered under the name of the Mothman? Because that was the trending legend of the time. Or is there some other kind of a deeper conspiracy within all this?
Sacrifice, I feel like, because remember what Father said, and he remarked it himself. Dorothy and someone else that were in the process were never touched or killed, or they were trying to escape.
Dorothy
I feel like
Dorothy
the
and
kids
Maria.
were trying to not mess up the sacrifice,
Mm-hmm.
which tells me this also makes it also something about the enemy state. The kids were eating corpses and stuff, so that means something was about the cannibalism.
That was
again.
disturbing. That was disturbing. The
Yeah.
children eating the corpse was disturbing.
Oh,
Yeah, and it feels
yeah.
again enemy of
Yeah,
the state.
I
and
got
feel
nightmares
like,
about that the entire night.
and I feel like some people knew about this thing and they were trying to eat out on the wild, or it was the origin of this rumor about if you eat someone you get their yacht and stuff,
Mhm.
which is where our team's ideology about
There
getting
you
shocked
go,
starts,
Taka's
and
thinking,
well,
Taka's thinking.
and the illusion, the enemy of the state rumor about, oh well, we can do this starts. So this Modman legend is where the two things start. Why which was the second roleplay again? I forgot. The Ferguson's starts because our team heard about this Modman legend. I was what if I try this myself? And then talk about this, or Russians heard about this Modman. We're thinking, or the doctor, because we know the doctor was there, and we were thinking, what if I do this to multiple children? What if I had an ultimate weapon? And they technically did, but everyone went to fuck and everyone went to heaven because the globe ball killed everyone. So the Modman
Yes.
could be the origin to this.
So
Because-
the interesting thing about the way enemy and truth work together is that because they're so far apart, the myth about eating someone and absorbing their essence has sort of been bastardized between 1921 and 1997 or something. So in Enemy of the State, it's the idea that eating someone basically gains their essence, and in this one, what's the other thing that we see? Our thanks for hanging out for a second.
Yeah,
Um,
fun.
and
Hi, Aura.
And the other part about this is that here's the thing that ties it in, is that we never really met any adults except for the older woman, and everyone seemed to be children. Mm-hmm. Which is interesting because what did RTM try to do?
Sacrifice children.
Taka, I was also about to ask something similar. So, like, you said something about how they didn't want to ruin the sacrifice or something of the sort, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, if the children were supposedly legit, if Mrs. Marple was supposedly legit, then why didn't they take any of the other adults who were supposedly living with the kids as a sacrifice? Why did they take the actors, or why did they take the people that it came in newly to Point Pleasant, that too specifically in search for the Mothman? Why did they take them to be the sacrifice?
Maybe Shy has it.
Yeah.
Maybe Shy has it. Because I think you're very
What
close. You're very close.
Like, why the actors though?
Yeah, but that's only why only a couple of specific actors.
Well, you said why didn't they take the people in the town? You didn't meet anyone in the town.
So they met anyone. That's the problem.
No.
The kid was...
No. That's not what I meant. Yeah, like, see, we have Maisie's mom. Okay, so Maisie's mom supposedly went into town because that's where she works.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have Mrs. Marple. You can't. I don't know if that time there was a child marriage, that kind of thing. So let's put that aside. So assuming Mrs. Marple is either married or has a kid or something, she's a neighbor.
Read what Shy just said.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone in town were children.
Remember, Altim, he looked like a fucking child. Remember, we know. Remember,
people in the town.
We have Altim as a proof. We have all people
there were no
adults.
There were no adults in the town, which means they were probably already sacrificed.
Oh
exactly.
My god!
To maintain their youth, the children's youth.
What is up with the obsession of youth?
We never met a young. Okay, there's also another red flag here. We only met old people and kids. We never met an adult that's in their 30s. We never met someone like that. We always met old people or young kids. We never met someone that's still growing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, someone is trying to stay alive most of the time. Mm-hmm. Feels like the people that are growing are controlled. Remember, the only people we have seen grown are the Fergusons. And that's because they were sacrificing people already. So, and they ended up, disappearing and stuff. So in the end, the only people we really see are old people and young kids.
Interesting.
It makes me believe that they have lived a ton of time in that town. They have lived like maybe 1,000 of years, maybe there, and anyone that's young enough to pass around here that plan a sacrifice there.
Now, here's the other question: if we assume that Maisie was in on it, what was the situation with the scene with the camera filming her?
Well, that goes back to Swift. That goes back to what Swift had asked. Who is filming the camera in the first place? Because it couldn't have been Maisie. And unless the voodoo dolls actually did come to life, it wouldn't make sense as to who else would do it. Unless the Mothman somehow shrunk. Because since the man has wings, like, according to the descriptions, the man had wings like a hawk. So that's not obviously gonna... those hawk-like wings aren't gonna fit under a normal door. So it could be one of the children, one of the demon-like children, who was filming them around. But at the same time, I don't think their breath would have been that heavy.
Well, I mean,
I get that.
It could have been. However, the question really is, at what point was, because we clearly saw Maisie was a part of the children. At what point was Maisie complicit in what was happening? Because if she was complicit the whole time, that means that the footage thing is really odd.
Yeah. I think
The
he was
toothbrush, the toilet.
It's odd, no matter how you look
we
at
had,
it.
we had the scent. We had the scent thing. We had the scent from any of the state and things that they were already in the making. I'm pretty sure some of the any of the state the things they were using they actually took it from the Modman because we know the doctor has been crazy enough to do stuff like that. So I feel like the toothbrush thing wasn't because of the toilet being contaminated, but because of the scent maybe that they had. And maybe the Modman set this up a stronger version of the scent they're using than the state.
I also
That's my
I will
that's my
just say
theory.
I thought it was interesting that Maisie made a point to brush her teeth in front of everyone else.
Oof.
Oh.
Yeah, I feel like the toilet water had a little bit contaminated or something, and it just
Or was Maisie
wait.
ever
Say
asleep?
something.
Or was Maisie ever asleep?
Ah, that's the big question right there.
Was Maisie faking it?
Wait, did
Oh.
Maybe. I don't know.
I mean, wait, okay.
How are we sure
Fire-
Maisie brushed
Fire
with it?
did-
How-
Fire did say, Fire did show us that she did actually like flush it off, unless it was a shifter. But we haven't encountered any shifters. The closest we got, I suppose, is
What?
acting makers.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I think it's just because he was a man, but nothing else.
How do we know it was Maisie's? Yeah, that's true. I mean, who knows if Maisie was taunting us or not?
Why would she use only
Okay,
any other
hold up,
toothbrush?
hold up. I just remember something. In this entire situation, they did see the footage. They saw the footage and they saw everything. But did anybody show or react to like if they since they did use the camera to show, to how do I say this? To zoom in on all the females, including Maisie, and did the thing with the toothbrush. Did these guys see it? Did the characters see it?
They didn't. No, apparently they didn't.
The zoom in?
Exactly.
Cannot, they
No.
didn't.
No, that's the point. So how do we know that they even saw this? Like, how do we know
They
that
didn't.
they know? That's the thing. So, okay, now I forgot the kind of point that I was
It was also interesting the people that were zoomed in on. But,
Yeah. Well, it's not that interesting if we do think that it's a pervert because
no, it was very pointed.
they were all
It was
girls.
it was everyone who was taken, wasn't it?
Madison and Dorothy.
But anyway,
Wait, Maisie wasn't taken though. Maisie wasn't taken.
Maisie was a part of the creatures.
Maisie was a part of it, yes, but not against her will.
That's true. That's true.
So, in a way, Maisie wasn't a part of this. Maisie wasn't a part of this thing. She was called, and she didn't disagree against it.
Yeah, which I don't know, which begs the question. I don't know that Maisie was actually asleep in that video. And I also think it was interesting.
True.
I don't know.
But then again, they didn't see it.
Yeah.
So then the characters would be clueless as to why they wouldn't see anything notice about it.
Yeah. Fire, how do you not know if you're the GM? I mean, I know things. I give theories.
Oh, wow.
Listen, I'm just a player like everyone else. I'm just putting out ideas. That's all. I let them come to it. Are there any other?
You're not legit.
Are there any other questions? Do we? I think we. This is a lot of fun. How do you guys feel about Truth or Tale? I know this is controversial. This is whatchamacallit? This is infamously everyone's least favorite Cryptidverse.
Oh God.
I had fun
Yeah.
talking about it though. When going back over it, I'm like, oh, this is fun. How did you all feel
it's
about
true.
it?
Oh, it was a really good experience for me. Marin was one of my best characters, and even though it was upsetting to see him die first, courtesy of someone here, it was enlightening. It was nice.
That's good. Taka, how did you rank this one your least favorite? How did you feel about Truth or Tale?
Yeah, weren't we supposed to move there today?
Any of this, I mean, okay, this is, I feel Enemy of the State was better in general.
Oh my god, that would have been a
I feel, I mean,
Did you say Enemy of the State was worse or
What
better?
about-
What'd you say?
Enemy of the State is better than
Better than
Truth
Truth
or
or Tale.
Tale.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
and honestly, I mean, like, the only thing I really like about this one is the like connections with the others specifically. So I do say that you maybe use the kids team a lot already. We have like
Yeah, too many kids.
Yeah,
I gotta tie it in.
I
It's,
know
it,
you
it
hate
matters.
that,
It
but-
matters. It matters.
I mean,
It
yeah,
matches the
but
grand
Too many
still-
kids.
Also,
Like, for
yeah,
a moment, let's not make it kid-centric.
the other thing
Nee's
I
not
do
about
like,
kids, I
I
promise
suppose
that.
that we can see more of the police in action. I do wonder though, was this guy actually corrupt or was he just thought I wanted the thing done with? That's my question.
Was he?
You know,
corrupted?
the guy that, yeah,
Oh, the person narrating this.
the policeman that was interviewing Madison.
Well, we never saw the policeman. I think it's actually a policewoman. I think I made a policewoman. We never saw her. So that last scene where the voices keep changing, that is, I don't know. That's whatever you all think it is. Whatever theories you have about. I mean, there's a theory that literally this policeman is the Mothman. That this police person was just the Mothman giving a voice. Because it is known that canonically the Mothman can change its voice over the phone.
Oh. So, hang on a minute. Change the voice over the phone. Well, if Mrs. Marple is indeed very real, hang on a minute. Phone. Corrupting technology. Holy crap.
See ya, Kiara. We're really about to finish, but see ya, Kiara. Thanks for joining us.
See ya.
you. But in any case,
Hi,
though,
guys.
See ya.
so if the Mothman can indeed change their voice over the phone, suddenly, like those scenes where the scenes where the characters answer the phone, we might have to reread them.
Yeah, you might have
So-
to, but we won't do it here because we're about to go to bed. We're almost at 3 hours. We're not quite as long as the Enemy of the State one, but we did pretty well. 2:45.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I stayed up until 8 a.m. last night, so
well, thank you all for joining me for our podcast for Truth or Tale. Now we can just focus on one CV at a time. Thank goodness.
yay for
Nia started. I can assure you there are no kids in Nia. So,
okay.
enjoy Nia, and we will be back for more special episodes of Good Morning New House City. Good morning. Yeah, that's my singing.
Wait, when's Shy's interview again?
Shy's interview will be next Sunday. Anyway, but we'll talk about it off mic. See you guys in the bonfire bar. Bye. Oh.
Ew.